changed. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.
Yes, I was muted. Thank you for letting me know. Man, my bad. What's up, guys? Hello. I gift out the 10 memberships already. Yeah, thank y'all. I was trying to mute or block people from getting memberships in the future, so I was distracted. My bad. But memberships were given out to a Real Housewife, Fight Like a Girl, Stevie Lee, Real Deal, Kendra, Gina Anderson, Kells Allegedly, Seleners, and Black Swan Gothica. Those came from me. And I think it's better to give it out before I even start, because that went to like the best people, except a few. But I did get memberships past few days, like Miss Wendy rejoined. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else? Dang it keeps moving. Miss Wendy, Truth Hurts, and Katie. You all get joined memberships the past few days, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hey, Sassy, how are you? Oh, yeah, he went beyond crazy. Crazier than normal. I'll put it this way. I have never felt the need to call the police on John in all this time of knowing him. I felt other people that were closer to him should have, yes. But I've never felt so tempted to do it myself than what he did while he was streaming on Sophie's channel. And the big a-hole thing about him doing that is he's risking her losing her channel, doing that on her channel. Like, I get it. You don't give a crap about your channel. You're going to burn it all to the ground. You're going to pull a Jules. What does Jules say again? Let's see. Is it this one?
Very, very risky. Now people will be like, well, you can see here I am thinking about the Camden stuff. And I'm thinking about it out loud. That was not the right thing to say to me. I really don't like when people tell me what to do. Because honestly, guys, if I'm going to burn it down, I'm going to burn it down. It's my channel. I don't share it with anybody else. And if I see some fucked up shit, I see some fucked up shit. But I guess you guys all got from this so far, you have, look at Kenlin. We've gotten so far from this that I don't play well with others.
Yeah, so I guess he's pulling one of those of if he's going to burn it all to the ground, he's got to burn it all to the ground. And his attacks, like he's been attacking me nonstop for over a week, and I haven't even been live until right now. The first time for this month me be live is now. So we're talking 12 days, and it's my mother's birthday, by the way. We're going to do a happy birthday song for her in a minute. But by the way, if you missed Miss Joanna's birthday, it was a few days ago, and we did a little video to say happy birthday to Miss Joanna, that you could go give her happy birthday wishes under there if you haven't gotten a chance to yet. Or Miss Joanna, she'll watch replay and you can say it here. It's up to you. But yeah, so he's trying to burn it all to the ground, and he did all this shit where he was saying how much he loved Sophie and misses Sophie. And then when Sophie is like, dude, I'm not buying your bull crap. I don't want to be your friend. It's over. Like, leave me alone. Get off my channel. You're violating my privacy, my trust right now. He refused to get off the channel. He started taking people's wrenches or like deleting. When people would hide comments, he would unhide them. There was a comment in there from someone named French Toast that was saying Sophie and J Mac used to do shit, and I went to hide it, and then it got unhid, and I'm like, who the hell's doing that? But I'm just assuming it was him because, like I said, he had access to her channel. And if y'all missed what I'm talking about, JY went live multiple times in the past 48 hours. He went live to make horrible allegations about George, which, John, let's talk about that. You remember how you acted when someone told you I called you a PDF? I didn't actually call you a PDF, but someone told you I did. Let me see. Let me find that clip of how you responded to me saying you talking about putting kids on adult websites, and you always thinking about kids in that nature, and to put allegations on people like you did it to ATT, you did it to Amber, you've done it to Jen, you've done it to a lot of people about being with underage kids and whatnot. You thinking about that constantly in the same sentence with kids is disturbing. And you always thinking about kids being assaulted. Remember when someone else, who I'm not going to name them because they're no longer with us, you said that she was being groomed by men in the same household as her mother to this person's daughter, and how CPS needed to be called because she's being intimate with men under the same roof as the mother. The mother didn't care. So it's like you constantly thinking about kids in that way is disturbing and predatory and not normal. That's what I said. But someone ran to you and said, "Oh, she's saying that you touch on kids and she's calling you a PDF," when I never fucking did. But how did you respond to that again? Let me see if I can pull this up without. Can I do an overlay at the same time? Let's see. Let's see if you'll let me do this.
You won't. Oh.
It won't let me cover it the way I need to cover it. Well, let me just, no, I've never given anybody access to my channel, actually. But I'm not even going to play it because I can't take that risk right now. But he said that he was going to come at me with razor blades and lemons, and it was the end of my life, and better count your last days. These are your last days. It's coming to an end. Your time's coming to end. If I have to try to Texas to make your sister kick you out and take your kids, I'm going to do it. And all that sorts of shit because someone told you I called you a PDF, but I did not call you a PDF. So it's predatory to think that way about kids over and over and over. It's not normal, and it isn't normal. I stand by that. I don't sit here and look at people of legal age in that manner, let alone kids. Whether you're doing it to talk shit or not, it is not normal. So you did that, but you went and like all this shit you said about George, and there's nothing to even back that up. He's trying to get Sophie reeled back in because I guess he's actually fed up with Jules, but he won't say it to Jules. Which, by the way, if you did not know, Johnny Mac and Drazo have denounced Jules. Jules got a full-on denouncement, but not as glorious as this one.
I fucking denounce you. You're fucking denounced!
By the way, hey, Miss Diane, how are you? And thank you, Stanley Cup, for that happy birthday wishes to my mother and Miss Joanna. M to the B, I guess that was perfect timing, because yes, it did announce in the chat that you renewed your membership, but thank you so freaking much. I know it's been giving you hell for a while, so I really appreciate it. 'Cause my memberships are not the lowest it's been, but that's, again, my own doing. I haven't been here. Main reason, working, being a mom, or in having company. I'm always going to put those things above YouTube and my mental health above YouTube. And here's so funny about how much shit John talked about. Oh, she pretends to have all these stuff to get sympathy from people. Sir, I never had someone read a letter that I wrote for them to pretend I was in the hospital because I bleeding out when I was actually standing outside the car to get money. I didn't pretend to end it to get people to pay my bills for months on end, while you bragged later on that you were raking in $7,000 at least, and that was on a slow month. Okay, that was you. None of my health stuff has come in the way of me being on YouTube. I went into the ER for 5 hours because my blood pressure and heart rate was through the roof and I was having chest pains. That's what I'm supposed to go for, dumbass. At no point have I ever gone live from the ER or the hospital. At no fucking point. But John and Cody said, oh, she pretended to have vital, those health issues, that blood pressure, to score medication like lisinopril. Lisinopril, that's what I was trying to score. That's what I mean. I did get a script. You're right. I didn't know that stuff was good like that. So I guess I have an open market for that stuff. Just kidding, obviously. But yeah, people are really good at faking their vitals, hooked up to the hospital's machines for 5 hours, and then seeing that your blood pressure, your heart rate are not going down, just resting. So imagine what it was like when I was trying to cook and clean and do all that stuff. Imagine how bad my heart rate got doing all that shit when just resting. It was like 141. Not normal, by the way. 60 something, 60 or 80 is normal, but I digress. But had no bearing on me being live. Me living fucking live is what had a bearing on me being live. And Cody, you say, get a fucking job, so you a bitch. I've been working since October of 2023. And before that, I worked my whole adult life except 4 years because my health was so fucking bad at that time. I've been working since 12 years old, actually. I'm one of the people that enjoy working. I couldn't, though, because I was a mom and didn't have a fucking vehicle to get around. But I don't have to worry about that shit no more. None of your business why, but I have my own ways to handle stuff. But it is just a part-time job, hence why I'm still here. Because the part-time job doesn't cover everything. But that's all I'm willing to work, because when I was working full-time with the government, I felt like all my time was being taken from my daughter, and it felt neglectful. And so that wasn't working out. So part-time it is. But you piss and moan. John, you said how much. You actually meditated stream and said, see what you broke, bish. And then in the next stream, you say how you're going to be living in a car. You can't pay the bills. You have no idea what you're going to do, how you're going to move out. Guess what, John? When I fucking moved, it cost me $3,000. It took me months and months and months to save that up. I don't have just $3,000. I've never in my life made $3,000 on YouTube. Ever. Never even made $2,000 on YouTube. So that shit took a long time to build up, but I did it myself while taking care of my daughter with no fucking help. As far as her dad. So you call me a broke bitch all you want, but I had my shit figured out. I've never had to live in a car, and I don't take pleasure in the fact if you have to go live in a car. Do I think you're actually going to go live in a car? No. I think it's all bullshit. Because here's the thing. You say how you had all this money, or how you didn't have to pay your rent for the last 3 months because the landlord's letting y'all live off your security deposit, which is such a dumbass fucking thing to do because there's yellow stains all over the wall. And your dumb excuse of, well, we've been here for years. I have lived places in years myself and never had stains on my wall. Same as my parents. My mom has been in the same house for 20 years, and I can move anything off her wall and there will not be yellow stains on anything or any outline on any of it. If you clean your walls a little bit better, you won't have to worry about that. And if you leave that landlord with those walls like that, you are selfish. It doesn't take much to clean that shit off. I would assume you could. There's a cleaner that you could get to clean that off. I sure go to Home Depot. I'm sure they could tell you what you could get to spray on the wall to break that shit up so you could wipe it away. That's the very least you should do since you're living off your security deposit. When we know we hear y'all punch the walls and break the stoves and all this other shit. So he's not gonna have nothing left to build that, to take care of that house, to fix those walls. And you're like, oh, it's not on the showing on the yellow wall. You mean the yellow stains aren't showing on the yellow wall? Duh. That's probably why y'all painted it yellow, to hide the stains. Which, do what you want in your own house, but you were renting. Hey, Real Deal. Thank you for being here. But yeah, Cody telling me to get a job when then your husband trashes you for being a lazy piece of shit and him having to carry you for 17 years. No one's carried me for 17 fucking years. I know a certain person likes to make all these insinuations about my life, but at no point have I bummed off anybody. I've always paid bills everywhere I've fucking been. I never was behind either. I have no credit cards, but my credit is in the 800s. Because my shit's on time. My shit gets paid on fucking time. The only issue I have is I keep my cards locked and then I have to deal. Anyways, that's a whole thing. But anyways, that's about it. That's the only issues I fucking have. But again, it's funny how you call me a broke bitch. Clearly it was projection because y'all were getting evicted, which again, I'm sad that you're getting evicted. I know how much y'all love that place. I don't take pleasure in that fact. But then you said the dumbass shit. Oh, Siwa blames Trump that she's in Section 8. Okay, first off, dumbass. You don't know my situation. That's first off. Second off, hey, Stevie Lee. Second off, Trump just got in the office a few weeks ago, right? I moved over a year and a half ago. I'm not going to tell you the exact same date because someone says it's a certain time that I moved and they're actually off by a few months. So, but I'm not going to help them out, pin those things together. But it's been over a year and a half. Why the fuck would I blame that on Trump? That don't even make fucking sense. Now, if everybody loses Section 8, then, we'll see. But I don't blame that on Trump. And you piss and moan about, oh, you're on Section 8. Dude, again, my bills are paid. But hey, Martin's mommy, no problem, Real Deal. I gave you a membership. I don't know if you saw it. Stevie Lee got one. I try to get all of my people, but I'll give out more later on to try to get some more memberships going. But John, you wanted to get on Section 8 and you admitted you couldn't because you made too much. While you sit here and say, we only have 5 cents to our name. Then someone in the chat, Veruca's Golden Goose says, John, check your PayPal. And you're like, we got nothing. We got nothing. When Veruca said, I sent something to your PayPal. And you sit there and you're looking at your phone. We know you see those notifications. You're like, no, I never got nothing. No one sent me anything. No one cares. And the next sentence, I don't want anybody to send us any money. See, I'm removing my CashApp, my PayPal, my Zelle. I'm removing it. I don't want anybody to send us money. But then again, in the next breath, you say, well, no one's sending us any super chats. No one cares. If you are living off your Social Security deposit, true talk, and you showed us your statistics on YouTube Studio yourself. You showed us how even when you only go live 5 times a month, you're making $3,000. So let's do the math here. You're not paying your rent for 3 months. That's $1,600, correct? Okay, so that's $1,600 a month that you're saving. You no longer pay a car note, so you don't have to worry about that shit no more. Probably your insurance. It's about it. But with $3,000 and you're also saving $1,600 a month, and you've been live way more than 5 times this past month. So safe to say you're going to make more than $3,000. But you got all that money while saying y'all need money. Just that $1,600 that you didn't spend on rent, you could get a fucking hotel room. I mean, I hope you wouldn't. That's a waste of time. You need to actually put it down on a place, save all that up. But you got all that fucking money. But y'all sit there and say, we're living off the crackers. And then you're drunk as a skunk and chain smoking. Haven't slowed down one bit. Right. And he's like, well, yeah, we're going to get shit-faced. We're upset. That's not worth that, John. It's not good. That's not a good idea. But if you'll be honest with it, that you don't need to worry about that because you've been saving $1,600 a month on rent and you get at least $3,000 each month. That's on a slow month on YouTube. If you're honest with yourself, you're good. No one actually needs to help. So don't be making people feel guilty if they don't help or they can't help, which a lot of people can't. But you know, it's so shitty how awful you treat people like me who would love to help people out. You talk all that shit, and you talk shit about so many people, and you talk shit to your whole subs and chat and call them idiots and names and fuck all of you and all that, and then ask them for help. That's not going to work. Hey, allegedly. No problem. I'm glad you got one. Thank you for being here. You're welcome, Stevie Lee. Must have been a very, very large security deposit. Did pay rent since October. I think his was $3,000 is what he was living off of. And the landlord supposedly agreed to it, but I don't think the landlord knows the damage that's done so far. Because I have seen it myself, them punch the stove. But I mean, hell, maybe a hag already replaced it. Because I remember the hags were like, let's start a GoFundMe to replace his stove. So maybe they replaced that, so they don't have to worry about that. But at least if they're going to keep living off that deposit, and know that they're leaving the landlord with nothing of that deposit left to fix what the walls and all that shit, then they at least need to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and they'll have these canisters with this spray liquid that you'll spray on the walls, and it'll cut down all that nicotine to where it's dripping down, and you just wipe it off with a paper towel. At least do that for that man, and replace maybe the blinds. The blinds are what, like, I think last time I replaced the blind, it was like $7. That one that you always sit in front of to smoke is yellow. Maybe at least fix that one. I mean, that's what I would do in a situation for the landlord who is being really understanding and putting up with all this shit. Like, if you actually care about that man, at least do that. If you were lived on deposit, I was like, you know, who cares? But you're taking that deposit by not paying rent. Right. Very, very freaking true. He bragged, y'all. He made $200,000 in 3 years. He said, I made $200,000 in the past 3 years on YouTube. 200,000? Not to mention the money that was given to you to pay your car off and for the lawyer fees and all that other shit. That he's not even counting the PayPal, Super Chats, all that. Which you don't have to count that and tell us what that is, to be honest. I mean, it's none of our business, but you bragged just a month ago about all that money you made, and then now you're wanting people to throw money at you. And it's just you and Cody. Yeah, well, I don't know. Jay today says she speaks to that landlord. I don't know one way or the other. I've never tried to call the landlord, so I don't know. I just feel bad for that man, and I'm sure that he's just happy to be done with it. And I think everybody should be happy for him too. But at first, John and them said, "Oh yeah, we have to move out because they're totaling out the house. They're bulldozing it to build for a hotel, and they already sold it." And then the next month's like, "No, he didn't steal it or sell it already. We just have to leave because too many cops have been here." Well, John, you have to. Do you need a stream? Hey, Kendra, do you need a stream to go back to watch to see what you do on lives that end up turning into police calls? You make death threats, you dox, you go after children, you go after spouses, you send cops to their houses, you do all that shit. You make all these horrible threats. You go after everybody's whole fucking family, everything. You can't even just keep it to the person. I've not done a fucking thing to you in over a week, even month. And by the way, you said the next person that plays old footage, you're done with them, whether they're friend or foe, you're walking away from them. Well, Jules just got through playing old footage of Jen. Of all of you on a live stream where you're drunk acting a fool, Jules just got through playing that. So are you going to stick to that, or she still get excused because you need someone in your corner? Besides the hags who actually care about you. Jules don't fucking care about you. The hags do. And Addie, thank you for ending that live stream. Thank you. I wish it would have happened sooner. No, that's really good. I mean, $3,000 a month, I would be so freaking happy if I made that much, but I don't make anything close to that. Nowhere fucking close to that. Never been close to that either. But again, his channel is much bigger. And if I knew all I had to do was go live 5 times a month and I would have more than enough to have money to move, why is he not doing that? And then he pisses and moans about, well, why should I go live? Why do y'all keep telling me go live? Why would I do that? Because you're getting paid for that. If you would just tone down your language, those streams would stick and you wouldn't lose them every time you fucking finish the stream, which I'm probably not doing too good because I'm cussing right now. But just go live. Let YouTube pay you then. Well, they like to just point fingers about everybody else. Everybody else needs to go to work. Well, they've been sitting on their ass for 3 years not doing anything, and they're able-bodied men with 2 vehicles and no children. They had no excuse to not go work. I would have been back to work in a heartbeat if I had a vehicle that I could drive and didn't have kids. Like I said, now I do part-time, and it doesn't cover everything. That's why I'm still here on YouTube. And I'm not even just that. I'm still here, too, because I actually miss the people when I'm not live. And I was going to go live the past 3 days, but Princess's friend, her little sister who never gets to go anywhere, she wanted to stay the night with us. And during the Super Bowl, I cooked a bunch of stuff, and I was watching movies with her and just having chat with her about being nicer to other kids and whatnot. So she was here for 2 days straight. And I always told y'all, I will not do a live stream with someone else's child here. I'm not going to do it. So again, that comes first. So when John's screaming, click the link, Siwa, where is Siwa? Siwa, I thought you were going to go live. Taking care of life, doing things that are way more fucking important. I'm not going to put this shit above my mental health. I have in the past, yes, but no one gets that power over me anymore. Yeah, I don't think he remembers either, Truth Hurts. He's like, the cops have been here so many times, it's Maria's fault, which, how many times do you want to violate that RO? You say how you want to get Maria for violating a RO. Well, you sit there, and because you and Cody didn't get your way with her police department, you sit there and call her bitch in Florida, bitch in Florida, bitch in Florida, and all this shit that's clearly geared at her. That's still a violation of your RO, I would assume. You both got lifetime ROs on each other, but you can't even keep your mouth shut to just take it into effect. If Maria truly did break the RO, which y'all know how I feel about her, but I have not seen Maria talk about him. Then again, I don't pay a membership to anybody's channel I don't like, and I'm not going to. So I don't know what she does on members only, but I have not seen her say anything about him. So I don't know. I can't even say, yeah, she's doing that. But he swears up and down she's breaking the RO, and other people have said so. And he could get something done about it, but then he goes live with his husband, who is yapping in the background as always while screaming, I have nothing to do with this. You can't get an RO and get her in trouble if you're going to do shit like that. That's why Maria would not even gotten RO against you in the first place had you had not done all those death threats, which he said the other night, y'all, that he still stands by everything he said regarding the death threats toward people's whole families. Hey, Jesus, how are you? But yeah, maybe he needs to go back and watch his streams to see. I've got a bunch of old streams. I'll play them for you, and you can see what leads to cops getting called. Because the other night, the cops should have been called on you every stream that you did. You were so bad. You made so many insinuations that you were going to do something to yourself that someone should have called. And I don't think it should have been people that he has fights with. It should have been people that are close to him. I think if you do it when you're not friends with him, no matter what he does, you're going to look like the bad guy. His behavior, absolutely. And George said he called the cops. If you missed it, guys, he went live on Sophie's channel and on Addie's channel against their wishes. And that's when I got involved. I watched all the streams and I didn't say nothing because I wasn't trying to make it worse for anybody. And I knew saying anything towards him was not going to work out. But when he went live on Sophie's channel and Sophie was trying to figure out how the fuck he did it, I was like, Sophie, you need to go into your YouTube studio and remove him as an admin, or go log into your StreamYard and change your password. But he's in there somehow. I try to help her. I showed up to support her, not to antagonize him or go at him. If he had not been logged into her channel, I would have never said anything, like a lot of people. That whole chat would have been going at him, telling him to get the hell off her channel. She wouldn't have been woken up in the middle of the night because of him. And nobody would have been saying anything towards him. But as he was on her channel, he took a kitchen utensil and dragged it across his wrist. And it was fake as well. He pretended he was doing it. And I'm sorry, trigger warning. I have the ticker at the bottom. He pretended he was doing it really hard, guys, just to make us feel like it's our fault. And this is why he got called out for shit back in last June, or 2 years ago in June, because he's doing the same thing where he goes live for a week and just annihilates and trashes everybody and doxes everybody and talks about every sensitive thing that's happened to them and all that stuff. And then when people are like, are you kidding? Like, what is wrong with you? And start to like want to clear their name. Then he's like, you're trying to push me to hurt myself. And I'm going to do this right in front of you. If you don't stop as soon as I do it, that proves you're the monster, not me. That's not how that shit works. No one wants you to harm yourself. So stop trying to say they do, because they don't. No one wants you to harm yourself. Well, I could drop the link if you'd like to come up. Do you want to come up? That's what I thought too. Yeah, it was in his StreamYard because they used to go live at the same time. So, but Sophie logged into her StreamYard and just deactivated it completely. So hopefully he can't do that anymore. But that's what he was doing that whole time. But anyways, that's what's going on with John. He was doxing nonstop, talking shit about me and Sophie and her husband, talking shit about my daughter. Oh, well, you're going to pretend you're a princess. If someone sent something to your door, you're going to cry like a baby. John, people sent cops and y'all never even fucking knew about it until full y'all got pulled. Jen sent the cops to my door pretending that she was my mother and I was taking my medication and I was having a mental break episode while I was talking to Brandy, totally fine. She sent the cops to the door pretending to be my mother. And y'all didn't even know about it because I didn't tell anybody until she outed it and Napa outed it. No one even fucking knew. So would I really act like a little bitch? Y'all, I wouldn't have fucking told y'all. Just like with the pizzas, I didn't tell anybody until it got outed by someone else. And now I was like, great, now they know. So you do all this. I will say that you and Jules are antagonizing people all the time, in my opinion. And that's why people are sending y'all shit all the time. Do I agree with it? No. Am I part of it? No. Have I ever? And here's another thing. John's like, Steven, you're so disgusting. You're so despicable. You're a disgusting human being. I was like, consider the source. But you call me that. Yet I've never sent the cops to your door. I never did fake welfare checks. I never messed with your family members. I like to hurt you in any way. Jazza was here, but he wasn't talking shit about you at that time. I never try to go legal on you, like with ROs when there was no reason for it, which again, during the process, Maria had legit reason to get an RO. She didn't have legit reasons at first, but you gave her that reason when you made those threats. So and same with E11 and same with everybody else that you threatened, you gave them reasons. And for all the people that are like, see what you stood by while he did that. Y'all, I was not his friend when he did that. If you don't understand, he wants friends that he could talk shit to and embarrass you in front of everybody like he did MTT, which so funny he used your first name. I guess you're totally fine with that, right? Because if someone did it against your wishes at one time, that now gives everybody free permission to do it whenever they want, right? That's what MTT says. But nonetheless, he was using her real name, talking shit about her, say, if I show these kids pictures, it's going to be on you. It's going to be your fault, MTT. Just because she said, John, please don't say stuff like that without any proof. She's like, if I show it, it's going to be your fault, MTT. So talking shit to her, that's what he wants. It's people he could talk shit to, and you just take it. And I'm never going to be that fucking person when it comes to John, and Sophie wasn't either. But I have never let John walk all over me and me just fucking take it. I've never let him come on my channel and just run the roost and do all these slurs and make all these death threats to people like other people have let him on their channel to do. I have never allowed John to be on this channel and do that. And I'm not going to allow him to do that. I'm also not going to ever excuse any racism that I've seen from any of them, including John and Cody. And that's why we fell out. It's because he wanted to say that Cody never said that word. He absolutely fucking did. And because I didn't lie for them or zip my fucking mouth when he told me in a text to not mention it, that's what got me the out, which I didn't even care. And I would have never even clicked the link, go on his channel if Brooklyn Girl had not been there. So I actually have respect for Brooklyn Girl. I actually think Brooklyn Girl is mature enough to have a conversation with, and she's a good-hearted person. I really do. I like Brooklyn Girl. But I would have never clicked the link if it was just John, because all he wants to do is talk shit to you, embarrass you, mute you, put you backstage, dox you. He just wants to talk shit to you and get paid to do it. So I would suggest people not go on his streams. But that's why he ended up having to come over here, because I wouldn't go to his channel. The only time I ever got on his channel when things were bad was with Brooklyn Girls, because she asked me to. Okay, Real Deal. Thank you so much for being here, hun. I appreciate it. And yes, the bug needs to leave Jen alone. Absolutely. To say that you're going to go at Jen because George talks about you is so unfair and so narcissistic and abusive to do to Jen. She has no control over George. None. So that's a low blow to do, Jules. But like I said, Jules got denounced by Drazo and Johnny Mac. And then they said, well, I'm checking my stuff. And then they said that Jules was leaving threatening, like screaming voicemails at Drazo. And he was supposedly he played it, but I didn't listen to it. I didn't hear it. I heard them going on, and Draws was like, I took up for you, Jules, because Seal was going at you over and over and over. Dude, you're a dumbass. Respectfully. I did not go at you over, or at Jules over and over and over. That's the lie that she told you to get you mad at me. Because when she was gone for a week, none of us talked about her. We moved on to other content. We were talking about Deadly, and we were talking about, like, we moved on. We weren't talking about her for the whole week that she took off after blowing everything out of proportion when SoFlo came on my channel that day on my daughter's birthday. Her mother's birthday is sacred, but my daughter's birthday, who gives a fuck, right? When I didn't even do anything to her. Yeah. So she had you believing that. Who started that fight? Because I had not done nothing to Jules. Who started that fight? Who started that whole fight? Who all went on a panel trashing someone that was just their friend because you took something a different way, because Jules told you that I only brought SoFlo up for views and it was pre-planned, and that I've never done that before, but I give SoFlo special treatment because I just wanted to get at Johnny Mac when it was actually to be a friend to Drazo. Remember that? When SoFlo was going to go up to New York to fuck around with you and all that, and he didn't, because he was told the truth that you didn't lie about a certain situation with someone else. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull this person up here real quick. Give me a second. Hello?
Hey.
Okay. I was nervous. I didn't even put up my overlay, so I got nervous.
Oh, no. I'm not going to porn bomb you. Yeah, I have a lot to say. I'm going to try to be as nice as I can to people, but
y'all put your bombs, your grenades in the chat if you remember.
Yeah, exactly. Having seen just what I've seen in the last couple days, first I will say I did not watch all of John's lives. They were too much for me. I'm not feeling well, so I turned them off at one point and just stopped watching them.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well.
That's okay. So for the people to sit there and say, oh yeah, and we know by people who I mean, to say, oh, she obviously doesn't care about him. She had no problem calling a welfare check on him before, but what, she's not going to do it this time when he has knives? Like, obviously she doesn't care. It's just a joke, blah, blah, blah. Well, one, I wasn't watching. Two, as I learned from last time, and as we've all seen,
right, you only get punished.
You only get punished, and calling the cops doesn't do any good whatsoever.
Not his police department's done with him.
Right. So there was no point in doing that. But also, people don't know what was going on behind the scenes to try to get him to stop and to get him help. Like, there was stuff going on. So
there's no stopping him when he's like that.
That's why
I've told you and Raken before.
There's not
like that. Leave. Do not participate. Do not even try to calm him down. Just go silent.
Well, and then I'm just saying, like, I'm not even referring to just myself. I'm referring to other people. That there were things going on behind the scenes where people were trying to get him help and to get him stopped and to get the live ended. Like, it wasn't like nobody wasn't doing anything. But I will say, first and foremost, a lot of what John was saying, I am not okay with. I don't agree with. I'm not kosher with.
Yeah, he went way too far.
I agree.
He really pulled that down on his wrist and to make it look so real. While Addie was watching, freaking out. Mm-hmm. And all these people are like, John, don't talk like that. We love you. And he ignored all of those comments. Yeah. And then to do that just to get a reaction out of us was so sickening. And it made me so mad.
No, he wasn't in control of himself at that point. But what what I want to say, though, is a couple of things. One, I do you know what it's like when you're being pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed by people? You know, I mean, I obviously would never take it to that extent, but I do understand that feeling of when people just push you and push you for entertainment. They think it's funny.
Trust me, I get that too. You
Yeah,
know,
no,
I get
you
that
do.
too.
You do. Absolutely. And so, you know, the whole thing with dragging him for his eviction and I know I'm not speaking about you. I mean, this isn't, I'm
No,
not
I
aiming
don't
this at
even.
you.
I actually feel bad that they're having to leave the place.
Yeah, I feel horrible about that, regardless of the situation. I don't want to see anybody go through that, you know, and that's sort of what I think part of what disappointed me about Kendra is seeing her in George's chat while they're over there laughing it up because she's going through a very similar situation. And I don't wish that for her. I don't wish that for him. I don't wish that for anybody. And I don't think it's funny and I don't think it's content. You know, that being said, I also know what it's like to be called a PEDO, and I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think putting that accusation out there, especially when you're not even going to provide any proof, which I don't even think proof should be shown. I
Well,
think it needs
George,
to not be brought up.
did you watch? George actually
No.
said he got a lawyer today, and
Okay.
they are going to get him for stalking and harassment and possibly
Good luck with that.
defamation. But he
Good
said
luck
he
with
hired
that.
a lawyer today, and he's going to be going to Jules's police department tomorrow.
Okay. I understand what that feels like.
Right, you do.
What I will say about George, though, is George, you have people in your chat who have called me that many, many times and have insinuated that I've posted little boys in their underwear on Reddit many, many times. You're okay with that. But you don't like it when somebody does it to you. I'm not saying it's right. I think what Jules and John are doing to you is way too far. And also, I wish they would leave. Also, like you said, leave Jen Bailey alone. She's not doing anything to
Right.
anybody.
That's
Leave them alone.
pissing me off. That is
Leave her
picking
alone.
on the weakest link.
Yeah.
When she's like, "Oh, every time George talks on me, I'm going to go at you,
No,
Jen,
leave
10
her
times
alone.
harder."
Yeah,
That's
leave her
messed up.
alone. She's not
That's
doing
evil.
anything to anybody. Leave her alone.
And keep going on and on about Jen's paper plates. Jen's
Mhm.
art is very beautiful. You
He
can
is
tell it makes
pissed,
her happy.
Michelle.
And nobody owns fucking Dollar Tree, Jules.
Right. He is pissed, and he should be pissed. I agree. He should be pissed. I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a right to be pissed. He absolutely does, and I know how that feels. But I'm just saying I'm getting really, really tired of this. It's okay, rules for thee, but not for rules for thee, but not for me thing. Like he wants to sit there and condemn John and Jules for saying this shit about him, which he should. But he's going to have people in his chat that he's buddies with who do the same thing to somebody else and who push people too far. I don't agree with that at all. And I don't, and I hope he does fight back because people do, it's
Well, he
all
said
gone
he's
too
getting
far.
investigated now with his foster care department because of the allegations.
See, and that's not right.
Because people actually
It's
believe
not
it
right.
and are now calling on him. And the only way John would have his information is from the strike that he gave to Jules, because that's the only person he's ever, or the only time he's ever put his name on anything.
Yeah.
So that's where Jules could get caught up on that.
Yeah.
And I know Jesus, I know Jesus really wants an apology.
Right.
The other thing, artwork is awful. Not saying it is, but it was. It's Jen's art, hers. It's Jen's therapy. And for anyone to talk shit about that, there's something wrong with you, not her.
It makes her happy. Like it's what brings her joy and makes her happy, and she enjoys it. Let her do it. Everybody's art is subjective. Like you can't make fun of it. Everybody's idea of art is different.
I agree.
I just think that they all need to leave her alone. Like,
I'm proud of Jen. She's showing cooking videos. Who would have thunk it that Jen would ever be showing? There's George. George, you could come up if you want.
I know you're not responsible for it. I know that, George. The other thing I do want to say that really, 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 really upset me, and I would hope you regret doing it, was at the end of your live yesterday when you laughed and said, "Look at what John's mom did to get away from him." That really
very good.
That cut me to the bone, because then I'm like, oh, so what? Did my mom do that to get away from me too? Like that's,
I think any moms who do that, because I've tried to do it to myself, is because we feel like we aren't enough.
I know. No, I know. And it's just when you do have a mom or a parent who does that, it is unless you've been through it, it's a kind of guilt that you will never understand. And that,
well, did you hear what he said though about Sophie? He's like, Sophie chose substances over her own kids. At least my mom knew to take herself out, which I really wish he'd quit saying that.
No, he needs to stop it too. It's not okay. It's not okay to weaponize, people unaliving themselves, period. I don't think
George says he doesn't feel bad about anything he said, and I honestly can't blame him if he doesn't, not considering what just happened to, what's going on with him now because of John's allegations. I maybe in the future it'll be different, but just like, I think anybody who gets that tied to them, it's like, who would feel sympathy for someone who's saying things like that about you?
Yeah.
But I agree it was a wrong statement, but at the same time, he says it himself, which he's like I said,
he does, and it's wrong.
I really wish you quit saying that because that's not true either. Your mom didn't end it because she didn't want to put up with you.
Yeah.
That's not true for any mother.
He needs to not be saying it either. Like it's not, and I could go into the whole, I don't know, like psychology of it all. I'm not going to. I mean, like I said, it's a situation that unless you've been in it, you can't really understand it, especially, when you've been when it happened when you're a kid, it's
right.
A whole different,
Chris?
It's a whole different thing. But I think that, John needed what he did to George was wrong. It was dead wrong.
He's going to pay for that. I think with George, he actually might have to answer for it now. Bliss Chris, so good to see you, honey. Summer, you too. John himself has said at least his mom knew it. Yeah, I like to say he said it while going at Sophie and trying to paint Sophie as bad mom.
And he shouldn't bring that up either. But I'm just saying, I don't think any, having been told by a certain person to drive off a cliff like my mother did, I don't think it's entertaining to, or not even entertaining. I don't think it's cool whatsoever to weaponize any type of unaliving. I just don't.
Chris. Happy belated birthday, Chris. Sorry, Ginevra. I'm sorry, okay. Ginevra. There's a lot of announcements I haven't said in a week, and I feel so bad because I missed Chris's birthday, Joanna's birthday, which I did something, a little video and gave her a super cash up.
I saw that. Happy birthday, Chris. I didn't know it was your birthday.
Yeah, hers was yesterday, and my mom's is today.
Oh, well, happy birthday to Mama Moon.
Yep, I got to call her after this.
Yeah.
I was going to send her flowers, but she's never home. She's always out doing stuff. So.
Oh, is she?
She's always either at my dad's or at her mom. Well, never mind. Not anymore. But she's always usually out and about. So I never know where she's going to be. Or
right.
Flowers.
Right.
Aww. She'll sit still. I'll send her some flowers. So
right.
She watches this.
Sit your butt down, Mama Moon.
Yes. Hunker down.
Yep.
Who used to say that? Didn't we
Hunker
used to have
down?
one?
Who used to say what?
Isn't it Jen that used to say hunker down?
Could be. It sounds like a Jenism.
Yeah.
But it does sound like a Jenism. But so I mean that's my thing. Is like basically just people need to stop weaponizing it. People need to stop. I mean, and John too. Everybody does. I
hope you're not sending him any. Well, it's your business, but he says he makes $3,000 on the slowest month, and he's not been paying his $1,600 a month rent, so he should have more than enough to put a deposit down on a new place, or at least a hotel for a week until he can. Like he should be very good because it took me $3,000 to move, and I saved up.
It's expensive to move. Yeah, it's expensive to move.
It is very expensive, especially across states.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where he's headed to now, but he's like, no one's going to take us in. We have nowhere to go. If it's because of what happened with Jen, I would never take him in. And just now, I hate that again that they I feel like they say they're going to be in a hotel, but they're actually or in a car, but they're actually not going to have to do that. I think they're just thinking the worst and hanging on to that's like their worst fears are going to be living in a car. But I actually don't think they're going to have.
Well, that's anybody's worst fear. Yeah,
right.
I mean, that's.
And it's cold.
I really, really, really hope it does not come down to that. Like, I don't want that for anybody.
But at the
And I
same
hope it
time,
doesn't
no
come
one
down to that.
should open their homes to them, because it's not good. I think they are better living by themselves.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, if somebody wants to open their home to them, that's
Just be
generous
prepared.
of them. And if yeah, I mean, I hope they're doing it.
I hope they all protect
Eyes wide
themselves and they
open.
all keep their receipts just in
Mhm.
case if that does happen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Miss Wendy. I was hoping George would come up, but I'm sure he's probably exhausted from all the shit he's been dealing with today.
Yeah. Well, and he probably doesn't like what I'm saying, but I'm being honest. Like, this is how I feel. And I don't, I understand this.
Too bad.
I understand he's angry and he wants to protect himself and should protect
this is
himself.
AT2 all over again.
It is.
And again, we have to think about the climate with racism in America right now. Putting that type of title on George is a death
Well, we know how I reacted to the AT2 thing. I mean, we all know what I did there. And I don't agree. I mean, you can't do that to anybody, but you cannot do that to a person of color, especially one, I don't even know. You can't do that to somebody. And especially in these dangerous times, you really can't.
I respect what you're saying and I understand your feelings about it. So he's not mad at you. He understands.
Okay, good. I appreciate that.
But I think the whole community needs to respond to this, honestly, how everybody responded with AT2, where everybody showed up to give support. And yes, I don't feel like we should pick John apart or say, I hope you die or, anything like that, which I haven't heard anybody say that. I'm just saying worst case.
No.
I don't feel like anybody should do that.
And everybody
should stand strong against putting these allegations on someone.
And that's why I'm, it's like, everybody knows that I'm okay with John and I'm not going to turn on him, because I'm not responsible for what he says, but I don't condone it and I'm not going to support it. And I'm not going to tell him, oh, it's okay. I'm not going to brush it off. Like, I'm not that kind of friend where I'm just going to be like, oh, ha, okay, whatever. If you do something wrong, I'm going to tell you.
With what he said in all those streams over over the weekend, or was it Monday or Tuesday? Is it Monday? I think he did it. With all those things he says, does he not understand that there are people who are mandated reporters and have to turn him in, and that will be nobody's fault but his own? If they don't, they could get fined. It's like $75,000 each time if you get caught not reporting stuff like that.
Right.
Like I said,
it is dangerous. It is dangerous, end of the beat. It's very dangerous, and that's why
he could have ended up in handcuffs that night and being.
Well, it could have been worse. I mean.
With that image of what he did across his wrist, that would have been all it would have taken.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, yeah. Fear, but we know his police department
absolutely,
doesn't do that.
Star. Absolutely. I agree. And that nobody's saying that that's not awful. Geneva's just saying that people shouldn't say, no wonder your mom ended it. Like, that's all she said. But George was in here too, and we all agreed. Everybody
and Star, you have to realize... You also have to realize that I've had that said about me, and also to that extent, because it's been said about me several times on several channels by a few people.
I'm behind, but do you realize Ginevra JY has laughed?
I don't think. And I don't agree with that either, Kendra. I don't wish that for anybody, and I don't think anybody should be making fun of that. And I don't think anybody should be
going hardcore at Kendra. And I think that's why a lot of people go into George's to try to cut up, because he is so vicious when he gets like that. And Cody helps just as much. And
absolutely. I agree.
I just stay in the bushes because I don't want to add to it myself, and I don't want to give any more reason for him to put blame on me. But I understand why other people want to go in there. He's gone on and on about my evictions and what a loser I am. He's been very abusive to me. In fact,
Star go listen to Stalker's channel then, Brooke, or Star. She just did it the other day. Go listen to her. She went on and on and on about it.
Oh, Kendra says that I have nowhere to go anymore. I'm truly homeless. I don't have a husband. My daughter can't take me in. I'm homeless completely. So he needs to shut the fuck up and sit down.
He does. You're right, Kendra. He does. And I'm very, very sorry to hear that. And if there was any way that I could possibly help, I would.
Well, he
'Cause
goes
I
on
don't
and on
want that
about
for
Kendra,
anybody.
but you know, Kendra learned the first time when she said stuff on a live that ended with the cops coming.
Right.
She learned that first time, don't ever do that shit again. So she's not getting evicted from her own decisions, like as far as acting crazy and the cops coming out 100 times and still not chilling out. Like John's had the cops out probably 200 times and he still is doing the exact same thing he did 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, the exact same thing, but then wondering why they're getting evicted for the cops coming out so much.
Right.
It's
No,
just,
that and that is, you know, I think that was shown quite a while ago that there is indeed a statute in his city about having the cops called out too many times. So
Kendra said, I can't stop crying. I'm having a mental breakdown. My mom told me I was a loser yesterday. That's so fucked up, and no one should do that. Hey,
you know what, Muzz? Go away. Go away, Muzz.
Who Holland's Opus?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me try to catch up on the comments, y'all. I don't hate John. I'm over that, but I get why other people do. Surprisingly, I also get why people like him. But I wish he would stop drinking, stop listening to bad influences, which I have something to say in a minute, too. But hold on. About what? Her son being posted on Reddit? That's old-ass shit and just needs to be dropped. Personally, though, being told you sodomized, yeah, is a lot worse. I can't say that or I'll get in trouble, y'all. Stop actually David's victim. He's
I'm not saying it's not bad or that it's not worse. I'm saying I understand how it feels. That's what I'm saying, is I understand that when people are lying on you like that, you know, and having lies told on you repeatedly over and over again by many, many people. I'm just saying, I know how that feels. And I understand for George how he feels. And I know it's wrong. I can't understand how George feels completely because the extent that it went to with him was far worse than it was with me. But I've had my reputation and my livelihood threatened and been called, you know, a PEDO. Yeah. And yeah, it should be dropped. But you know what? It isn't dropped. It's still being brought up to this day.
Yeah, I will say I've seen it get brought up not too long ago, too. So I get why she's trying to put that home. I'm curious why George is so adamant that no FOIAs be pulled on him if nothing said was true or partially true. It's not about no FOIAs be pulled, mugshot, or bust. It's illegal to use it in a harassing manner. It actually is. Hey, Miss Suzanne again. And Kendra, I'm so sorry that was said to you. That's not true. And don't
listen. No, it's yeah, don't listen.
Your parents should never talk to you like that.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your
well,
mom
then John's
supportive.
like, why do people even care about the whole politics thing and what's happening to the LGBTQIA? It has no bearing on you. Who gives a fuck? If it doesn't affect you, who cares? But then the same breath said he's an empath. You are the exact opposite of an empath. You're saying you don't care about anybody else unless it affects you and your husband.
That it affects my community, therefore it affects me. It affects people I love, therefore it affects me.
Humans are losing their rights. And John, you know what's so funny? Is Trump wants you to no longer be a citizen. You said your own father was not born in America. You said that yourself. That would mean you would lose your birthright citizenship if Trump had his way and you would risk being deported from your own words. So you can take it's funny all you want and no big deal. And like, well, who even speaks up if it doesn't bother you? Why speak up for Black Lives Matter if it doesn't affect you? Because Black voices get silenced.
Right.
They get punished for speaking out, speaking freely. White voices are more elevated, and it's a sickening fact, but it's true. They get heard more often. So that's why people should speak up. And you're like, well, who cares if it doesn't affect you? John, if people just spoke up back when the Holocaust was going on and started to take stand and all stand up with each other to fight back, maybe that shit would have stopped. Your whole thing of just keep quiet, just let it happen unless it affects you is bullshit. And it's ignorant to even say.
Right.
That shit pissed me off when he said, don't even mention it if it doesn't affect you. Like,
well, and the thing is that that's a very ignorant attitude to have because it affects everybody.
Exactly. I feel like none of us have rights unless all of us have rights.
Right. It affects my community. It affects people I love. I have, you know, people very close to me that are LGBTQIA. It affects me. It affects my community. I don't want to see anybody in I don't see anybody in my community as any less than. and they shouldn't be treated as such. And as long as anybody is going to be treated as less than I am, then I'm going to speak up about it because it's not right. Period.
George, you can speak freely as long as you're being respectful and they're being respectful.
No,
It's
say
okay.
what you want. Yeah,
Don't
I mean,
disagree with each other in the chat. Just be respectful. Don't call
I'm
names.
not gonna.
Let's chat.
I don't have a problem. I mean, like, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to disrespect George. It's not like that. It's like, I just don't.
He says he doesn't want to disrespect the people in the chat because Mugshot is like, George, why can't we pull FOIAs on you? And he's like, I didn't say that. It's just you can't pull FOIAs to harass someone and dox someone online. And that is true. You're not supposed to be using that information for that.
I've had that done to me. I know. I get it.
I've talked to the cops about that myself.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, if you want to sit here and speak up against it, speak up against it. But you got to speak up against it for everybody.
I mean, it is true, Mugshot. If you look it up, you can't use, like I spoke to the cops myself, you can't use FOIAs to dox, harass, and intimidate people. Which I should have known that sooner, but I didn't pull a FOIA on anybody and go live with it. So you're not going to find my name on it. Jules says I have her FOIAs. I requested them, but I never followed through with them when they asked for more information about her. Never did. I said that.
I only have one.
Responded since, so
the only one I ever got was on that day with that, and I'm not even the one who got the recording of that. That was Muzz who got the recording of it. Muzz is the one who has all of her FOIAs.
I don't think Mugshot's being too disrespectful, y'all. They're just having a difference of opinion. Star being called a PDF. Is being called a PDF. Well, John's the one that's calling people PDFs. I haven't seen other people call him PDFs, but maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I haven't seen it.
I don't know if anybody's called him one. Maybe, but I don't know.
I've only heard about George being called one with absolutely no facts and no truth.
Right. And myself been called one with no facts and no truth. Brooke just called me one the other day.
I just want you to be careful, Ginevra. I don't want anything happening to you because you're trying to be a good friend to someone, you know?
Well, and it will.
You don't need to deal with this shit while you're going through all the other stuff you're dealing with.
But I'm also at the same time, I've been put in the middle of this for a while now. I've done my best to stay out of the middle of it, but at the same time, I can't, friend or not, I can't condone what I did here. What I did see.
She's actually speaking against what he's doing too. She's not agreeing with what he's saying about anybody.
No, not at all. I don't agree with it. I think it was a very low blow. I think it's a very, very dangerous accusation to make.
Like I said, especially to a person of color and the climate with racism in our country right now and everything. Right. Everybody's amped up right now too. And people of color are being targeted right now. Worse than usual, and that's saying something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he pissed me off saying that we should all shut up unless it affects us. It does affect us because if some of us lose our rights, we're all at risk of losing rights.
Right. I know. I had to have a conversation the other day. Not a conversation. She had a conversation with me. My 13-year-old niece. She's terrified to go to school. Terrified. Because literally she's mixed. She looks Hispanic and she's terrified to go to school.
Yeah, they're stopping everybody that even looks the part.
Yeah. She's like, I don't want to go to school. I'm scared that they're going to pick me up. And I don't even know why they would pick me up. Well,
even Princess, one of her best, closest friends from Austin, he's Hispanic, and his parents, hey, Miss Joanna, happy belated birthday again. His parents are not originally from the U.S. and she is now, anytime he doesn't answer the phone, she's freaked out that he was taken, and that's a horrible thing that she's having to deal with now. I'm like, it's okay, honey, just send a text. He's probably just resting or he's probably just busy, and so she'll send a text and he'll respond. But now she's always on alert, worrying, is he going to be taken next?
Yeah. I'm sorry, what were you going to say though before I interrupted rudely?
I don't even remember. Who are my friends, and can you be more specific with who you're talking about? Mugshot said that Star's friends could go real live, but no one else can. Will you go up on JY's panel after all this? Holland is asking you.
Probably not. I don't feel comfortable supporting that right now.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous for anybody. And for people that were, being mad. John went berserk and started doxing me just because I said I feel so bad that Addie has the witnesses. Because if y'all don't know, Addie has lost someone to S before. Wasn't it a brother? I think.
I think so.
Someone close to her.
Somebody close to her. Yeah.
To S. And that's why she is so protective of John and is always trying to calm him down and all that shit. Just for everybody to know that tries to rag on Addie, you have to understand that there's more to it than just.
No, Addie's very protective of him, and it's sad when she has to. Yeah, it makes me sad when she has to witness this.
But John was started doxing me. I said, "Poor Addie, having to watch this," and Addie was freaking out and begging John to stop, and he overlooked it every time and told her to stop, begging him to stop. Like what? All right, George. I never sent anyone a pizza. Prank call, yes, just one though.
Right.
They're asking about the enema. Holland said, thanks, Ginevra, for answering. Prank calls versus accusing somebody of assaulting children is a huge difference. Mugshot. Let's see. Star. I've sat in a lot of chats with people who say things I don't agree with. Why are their actions my responsibility? You enjoy sitting in the shit, says Mugshot.
I do?
No, talking to Star.
Oh.
They're having a back and forth, but they're being somewhat respectful and just trying to have a talk about what the issue is.
It's not actions. It's not about responsibility of other people's actions. It's about whether or not you support people who act that way.
Very true, Summer Days. Addie cut it off the first time. That's why he went, oh, you can't take this from me, and did it on 3 different channels. So, which was
he shouldn't have done it. Yeah, he should never have done that on Addie's channel.
No, because again, he did the knife thing on Sophie and Addie's channel.
That's what I'm saying. That's wrong to do hijack their channels like that. That's wrong.
Oh, Mugshot goes into Jules. Jules is out of control lately.
She is out of control.
And Jules, let me say this. You said, how dare y'all say those things to John? What are you going to do when it's the last time? And he actually does something. Okay, same situation, Jules. What about all the things he says about us? What if that's what he wants to leave us with? Forever before he does something, he wants us to remember him doxing us, talking shit about our children, talking shit about spouses, talking shit about houses. All you want him, is that what he wants us to remember him? He's the one taking all these jabs at everybody, and that's why someone ended up responding, and then he cries victim about it. No one wants him to hurt himself. But
nobody wants anybody to hurt themselves.
Nobody wants to be the target either when nobody is even attacking him.
Right. Like nobody wants anybody to hurt themselves, and nobody should be pushing people or encouraging people to do things like that. It just should never happen, period. Because you never know when one time might be the time that's too far.
I don't know. So, using that word exactly, you're kind of giving yourself away. Just saying. A lot of
Lainey Lynn, I'm sorry.
Yeah, lost someone to S. I lost 5 friends to it over 30. That's horrific.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Miss Joanna, have you been seeing the whole thing that's been going on? But George, again, if you missed his stream earlier, guys, he paid. He retained a lawyer today. They're trying to pursue charges, all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, he can't say stuff like that. You can't. I mean, it wasn't even like he just implied it. He went into.
He's like, I have this testimony from the victims.
I mean, just the things he was saying was just. I mean, you can't even just implying something like that is horrific. But then to go into the extent that he did is.
Okay, but you're now being rude to Star. Be respectful, please, and please don't bring that person up. That was both their channel. Okay. So let's try to be respectful. That was already dealt with. Me too, Miss Joanne. I've been in the bush. I've been wanting to go live for a week, but every time I wanted to, it was either too many people live, or I had too much shit going on, or I had company.
Right. No, and you are. I absolutely understand your anger, George, and you have every right to be angry. You have every right to be upset. I will absolutely not defend an ounce of what was said or how it was gone about. It was wrong. And it's dangerous in all kinds of levels to say that about somebody, particularly you, even more so. And I will not, I mean, that's why I'm up here standing against it. Like, I don't think it's cool and okay to say that about anybody.
Excuse
And
me.
I'm sorry that this is happening to you, because it is infuriating and angering.
That's a death sentence for people.
Yeah.
Especially in Cincinnati. Well, I don't know if he's in Cincinnati. He's in Ohio, wherever. But I can't say who
Anywhere.
it is. But
Yeah.
people who like to celebrate YT power, catch my drift, are doing protests in Ohio very publicly with the hoods and everything in the area that George is in. And you think it's funny to put a title like that on someone? What do you think that they would do to someone thinking that they were hurting children? Again, not funny, not okay.
Right. No, it's not okay.
Yes, Miss Joanna, I do understand. And you don't need that stress anyways. Okay. Hey, Shanna. Yes, that's why I feel like maybe people leave well enough alone. And I'm sorry, but we can't get upset at the backlash we get back. I don't know. My opinion, it is wrong, the words that were said, but what? I would say I would just leave it was wrong, the words that were said, and that shouldn't be, those accusations should come with proof or not said at all. Like I said, he was leaving death threats for me and all sorts of shit just because he was told I called him that, and I never called him that.
What?
John, he was told I called him a PDF, and I never did.
Oh, I know nobody called him that.
No, it's something. Remember, two people told him, "Oh, see what called you a PDF," and when I had said predatory behavior,
it was probably when I left. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
He
was
was
probably
making death threats, but then he does these accusations. Again, he did it to AT2 and now George.
I think that was around the time that I left is when he started going off. Like, I was half listening when he started in on the George stuff because I was like, whatever. And Jules was in the chat being
Thank
POS.
you, girl. I appreciate that. Thank you for your opinion and your comment. And he's not just done it to George and AT2. He's also done it to Sparkle.
There is no excuse, Cheryl.
What was Tulsa accusing her of doing things against their wishes, and then accusing Home Depot Jen of something that was it's a big stretch, John, from what you said she did to what you're accusing her of. And would you please stop saying she was R-ing you for your money? Stop saying shit like that.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That shit's pissing me off, and I would stop if I were you.
I just wish people would stop throwing mental health around.
I've been over a week, and he just every live, he just talking shit about me. I
know.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Miss Joanna.
Oh,
yes, I only got some memberships. Thank you. Hold on, y'all. Let me see who got them. Thank you so much, Miss Joanna. I gave out 10 earlier. I don't remember who I got them now, but I definitely had to. Okay, Bubba's mom, you got one. Joy, you got one. Hold on, let me look at my list. Can't see the other ones.
Star, Joy, Bubba's mom, Secret Treasures, and Darkness.
Oh, okay. I would rather Secret Treasures not. I don't know if Secret Treasures is a good person or not.
Meh.
I can't tell, but thank you so much, Miss Joanna. Y'all, let's take a little cleanser, a little palate real quick while we actually, I don't know, because all of these are just going to piss off some people in the chat, and I don't want to do that to them, because there's some people who support you know who over here, and I don't want to make them in a situation. So I won't play a video if that's okay with you guys. Thank you so freaking much, Miss Joanna.
Just play your little denounced video because that's funny as fuck. Sorry.
Okay, denouncement just for you guys.
I fucking denounce you. You're fucking denounced!
Again, Draza, you didn't even give Jules the true denouncement that she deserved in that moment. 'Cause
Right.
she's been gaslighting you and using you and Johnny Mac this whole time. And she really had you believing I was going at her over and over and over when I was not. Yeah, I can't believe you fell for that shit. But whatever. Keep lying for that woman. Thank you, Martin's mommy. I appreciate it. Thank you for your continued membership for 31 months. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's see what Star said. There's a difference between going back and forth with some banter, but going live and accusing someone of doing you know what with 13-year-old foster kids is so far across the line. I don't even know where that came from. Like, I don't even get it. I don't know if he just absolutely made it up out of nowhere or someone told him that and he's running with it or not. But we know people.
I was like MTT. Like, I was asking him for proof because I'm like, where's the proof of this?
He was horrible to MTT in that stream.
He was. And I was asking him for proof too because I'm sure as hell, like, not okay with anybody saying anything like that. Like, where's the proof? Not that and the thing is I was asking him privately for proof because I don't want him showing any information on a live either. And I have to say with the Penelope thing, like, John, I don't think you were realizing at the time, but Penelope was backing up her friend because why would she want you, John, to show anything involving George? Like, why is she going to show her face so that you dox him?
Show your face and I'll show the proof. No,
right.
Like that, that's just an excuse to not show.
And it was the opposite. Like, why would she want John to dox George? Like, I'm going to show my face so you can dox my friend.
No, that was bullshit. She's not.
Yeah.
George, you should be mad.
Like, she was having George's back, if you ask me.
Well, and then he was like, we're not trying to ruin. I've never tried to ruin anyone's lives. But then they just got through saying we need to call the animal control on Penelope's farm. We need to call CPS to try to get her daughter taken. We need to call her job to try to get her fired. And then again say, we're not trying to ruin anybody's lives. That's exactly ruining someone's lives, John.
Right.
He
said that, George? Because I did not watch the whole live.
From the parents. Why would the parents tell us?
How would he even get
met? Dude,
yeah. How would he even get something like that? No.
Yeah, that's bullshit. No,
I don't know how you would get something like that.
Absolutely.
No, I wanted to see the proof. Like, it's like, you can't.
I'm glad you came and said it didn't come from you because someone would try to spin that.
Right. No. And I wanted to see it myself. Like, if you're going to say that he's this horrible, horrible human being, like, let's see it. Because I'm not going to believe it unless I see it.
Well, I'm glad that people were like, show the proof or stop saying that. You can't say shit like that, John.
No, you can't.
But he took it out on them. But then trying to get George to fight with Penelope because she didn't show her face, so she's not a real friend. That made no freaking sense.
No, she was doing the opposite. If you ask me, she was being.
He called his bluff, honestly.
Yeah. Well, that too. But I mean, like, what is she going to be like? I'm going to show my face so you can dox my friend. Like, no.
Well, she said, John, if I turn on this camera, I'm going to corn bomb you. You want me to? Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of the girl, but I give her props where it's due. She called him out on his shit, and it proved that he was lying, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Y'all know parents will be like, oh, you're a stranger from YouTube. You want to use this as content to go at this guy who traumatized our children? Well, let me tell you all about it. And I'll even give you the statements of my underage children that are traumatized by this. And if they're foster kids, they are way more private than regular kids. Okay. They keep more things to the chest for the safety of the children.
Yeah. So things like that are
harder to believe that he tracked down these foster kids. I mean, if people just think about it, you'd realize it.
Well, it's my understanding that all juvenile records like that are sealed. Like, I mean, not even like that. I mean, juvenile records in general. Like,
it would be hard to track down the kids too.
Like, all juvenile records are sealed, but particularly when it comes to any type of
abuse, absolutely.
A CPS foster situation, like.
It'd be different if he said, oh, these are regular kids or neighbors. He said, no, these are the foster kids. Again, nobody would tell you that shit. Nobody.
Right.
You would not be able to get your hands on that.
Right.
It's just, disturbing, and
hard.
then threatening to out these supposed children, and then
Mhm.
put all the blame on MTT. Dude, that is just stop. But
So
Cody's
he put
really
the
gotta
blame on
stop.
her. Why did he put the blame on her?
Because she said, John, you can't make accusations like that without proof. You need to show proof. He's
Oh.
like, okay, MTT, what am I lying? You think I'm lying? Well, if I show the proof in these kids and I dox these kids,
Oh,
it's all your fault.
yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
like, what? What is even happening right now? How is it my fault? And he was just cussing her out and using her real name and everything. And she just went silent mode on him the rest of the night. But he was
Right.
trying to say, if I dox these kids, it's all your fault.
Right.
Oh, Addie said MTT left YouTube over this.
Oh, that's too
George, I
bad.
have never had a set of two 13-year-old kids. Yeah, that would, what are they, twins? It would be, y'all. Like I said, it makes, if you think about it, your common sense would prove to you is none of this shit's true. I appreciate MTT too, and I just got in a fight with the MTT, but I'm glad that she took a stand. And all these people, look, I will say this. I used to be one of the people like, Hags, what the hell are y'all doing? Why are you not stopping him? I know there's no stopping him now.
Mm-mm.
When he gets like that, either you're going to become the target or you're going to shut up.
Right.
Does that make it right? Absolutely not. But the people they're scared to say anything. Because again, just MTT saying, Sean, please don't say things like that. Those very damaging. Just her saying that, he targeted her and embarrassed her in front of 300 people. So,
Right.
I mean, would you want to be on the other end of that? Probably not. So I think that's the only people who last with him are the people who just let him do whatever he wants and then show up the next day and act like nothing happened.
Right. No, and I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to, I mean, I'm going to get dragged for this, I'm sure.
Probably.
But
He already tried to drag you because I did a stream the other day or weeks ago where I played an old stream because everybody wanted to see what Carrie Ann had to say. He was like, Ginevra, you allowed that to happen? You weren't even here.
Mm-mm. And it's your channel. Like, I'm going to tell you what to play on your own damn channel.
Ginevra has never ran my channel, y'all, ever.
Like,
most is
I'm not going to tell you what to play.
Platform she was allowed to come up. That's been the extent of it.
Yeah, like, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here. I'm over here getting dragged, being like, oh yeah, she supports that. Like, it's okay. She's not going to tell John that it's wrong or that he needs to stop. Or no, I don't support that. And yeah, I'm going to say it was wrong. Like, you can't say that about people, period.
Right.
And stop. Like, you just don't say shit like that. It's not okay. It's not.
It's definitely not. And if George gets a legal case against him, maybe he'll watch what he says from now on. I mean, I don't know with what John, this is what I understand, Ginevra, with what John's dealing with already. The last thing I would do is go on a live and say things that could get me 5150 and say things that are illegal, to do illegal things, dox everybody, where all the shit he does on his streams can get taken down by the crap he says. So he's doing it practically for nothing. Because if those videos get deleted before the end of the month, he will not get paid for that revenue for those videos. Right. He'll get the super chats, but he will not get the revenue from any of the views that he's getting in those streams. Because if they are taken down before the 30th or the end of the month, you don't get it. So all the crap he's doing, it's not even helping him. It's only making it worse. And like I said, he's begging to get 5150'd. Or someone end up hurting him, which I hope no one does. But the things he says are so dangerous. And people have ended things with ended lives over much less before. It's just not smart to say. And he doesn't even know who's bringing the antifreeze and stuff. Yet he's still popping off at the mouth at all these things. He knows JJ says she has her cousins live in that area. No, y'all, I think YouTube took it down because I know a lot of people reported those streams. I know I reported for him doxing. Every time he doxed, I reported. But the stuff he said, I'm sure got taken down because of the S words,
Right.
And Jules is absolutely making excuses and telling everybody to ignore him and telling everybody that it's everybody else's fault. And poor little John, y'all are picking on him. It's all your fault if he does something. Again, Jules, no one wants him to do something.
No, nobody does.
And no one,
I don't want anybody to do anything
on with your man while John was doing that either. Because first he said, "Oh, I was getting it on with my imaginary boyfriend," and the next post saying, "Yeah, I was watching in the bushes and I decided not to do anything." You came and stay straight with what you
Mm.
say, but that's
Yeah,
not putting
no,
the
like
blame on
I had to
everybody
leave.
else.
I didn't see a lot of it. I had to leave it. I couldn't. Like,
I
and it
was,
was so late at night too, and it was
yeah,
just
it
so
was
out of
so late.
control. And I'm on the West Coast, so it wasn't even that late for me. But for me, it was late at night. I was tired. Like I
Oh,
said,
he
not
kept
feeling
going till
well.
5 in the morning.
Oh, geez. It got too much for me. And I'm like, I can't even watch this anymore. It was
I did, Star. I definitely caught that too.
caught
But
what?
of Jules saying, I was getting on with my boyfriend. I didn't
Oh,
even see the
geez.
stuff John did. And the next breath, she said, oh, yeah, I was in the bushes while it happened. I'm not going to participate in that. I just mind my own business. If you don't like it, don't watch. Just turn it off. Well, okay, the same, Jules. If you don't like what someone says, turn it off.
Right.
Because we have a right to respond.
That's what I did. I turned it off. I didn't want to see it. I turned it off because it was bad. It was bad. And it was
I was watching and recording because I was waiting for him to
triggering.
make death threats.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
figured
it
was
was
coming.
triggering to me. It was upsetting to me. I felt very put in the middle of things. And, it got to the point where, and I hate being in the middle, but at the same time, like what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Oh, and I'm
And
going
I
to speak on this too. And
can't support that.
these are my own opinions. These are not, I've never talked to Ginevra about this, but when John and Cody started fighting each other and all the people in the chat, y'all are like, oh, they'll not turn violent. They're just, it's a verbal altercation, y'all. They won't get violent with each other as they're telling you, you beat me. No, you beat me. You broke my arm. No, well, you punched me. And like, but as y'all are in the chat saying it's just verbal, they won't get physical, but they're telling y'all they get physical with each other. But for anyone like, oh, they love each other. Don't worry, guys. You don't put your hands on people you love. Stop trying to normalize that shit. That is not love.
Were they
That is
physically
abuse. That is
fighting?
a toxic situation. Huh?
Were they physically fighting?
Well, I saw John go to hit Cody. And Cody, I think Cody was trying to shut the computer down, and John smacked him. From what I saw, but they were screaming. John's like, "You're the one that broke my arm in 13 places. You kicked it out of place. You SOB. I had to walk for 2 miles with my arm like that. You didn't even try to help me." And Cody's like, "Well, you came home and you started punching me in the face. I had to fight back, and I'm not gonna let you beat on me." Like, it was bad. It was bad. And the people in the chat, like, they love each other. Don't worry, guys. It's just, they're just arguing. They won't ever get physical as they're telling everybody how they get physical.
How they get physical.
And people like, they love each other. Again, stop saying that shit. That's not normal.
That's sad.
You don't put your hands on people you love.
No, you don't. That's sad.
That is a dependency, in my opinion.
He threw a swing. Wow.
I have. Did you not watch that stream when they fought?
Like I said, I left.
Oh, it was not good.
There are huge chunks of that stream or streams that I did because it got pretty early on. It got too much for me. Like once the knives came out and he started with the knives, and I was like, no, I can't.
Which I think Cody was so wrong for that. But I do, on one hand, I understand that he's tired of hearing John say, I don't want to wake up. I want my life over with. I get why Cody's like, just do it already. But with John, I think he knows John's just talking crap. But no, you shouldn't tempt that man.
No.
Because clearly
if they're over there fighting, you don't want to bring weapons into it either.
Yeah, like Cody apparently put 3. Hey, Sam. Cody put 3 knives in John's lap and told him to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, no.
Which was a total Cooch move. Because Cooch is like, what you want? What kind of knife do you want? Yeah, Cody pulled one of those.
Well, and the thing is if you're fighting and swinging at each other, the last thing you need are to have.
I was worried someone was going to actually get Cade with how violent and aggressive they were being with each other. And they were just unleashing and raging at it. I was really worried about their safety, but I'm glad nothing happened.
Yeah, that's not okay.
And that's the whole thing with him is projection, because he's like, you're losers, y'all have nothing, you're a broke bitch, see what your life sucks, you're a horrible mom, Sophie, you're a horrible mom, at least my mom knew when it ended, all this talking all this shit. And the next breath, oh, we're actually about to be evicted, we're going to be living in a car, I hate my husband, he hates me, we fight all the time, I'm miserable, I'm dying, I don't have much time left with my own health, I'm not going to make it much longer. Talk all this shit that he was saying about everybody actually pertained to him in the next breath. He ended up turning out about like all of those things he said about everybody else were facts for himself. So it was eye-opening to see him say all those horrible things and then realize it was actually true for them, not the other people that he was attacking.
Right.
Which is normal for people to project. I understand, but
And
that's
I get that feeling of, you know, that makes me sad that if he really truly feels like he goes to bed every night not wanting to wake up in the morning, I understand that feeling.
I believe that he feels that way.
I understand that feeling. I've been like that myself. I've been like that myself because of people on these streets who have pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to the point where, yeah, you just don't want to deal with it anymore. And you hope you don't wake up in the morning. I get that feeling. And it makes me sad that he feels that way. But
you
it's
can't
not
punish everybody with yourself. Like you can't make everybody miserable with you because you're not happy.
No.
That's
and you
what
can't use it as an excuse. You can't use it as an excuse to be vile to other people.
No. He's like, if I'm going to be miserable, everyone's going to be miserable with me. He's like, everybody click the link. Why aren't y'all clicking the link? Why is no one clicking the link? No one's going to click the link so you could berate them, verbally abuse them, dox them, talk shit about them, threaten them, go after their kids and family members. And then you get to mute and throw them backstage when you're done cussing them out and treating them like shit. No one's going to do that with you, John.
Right.
Yes, it happened the other night. He did 3 lives in one night, I think on Monday. One was called Awful. The other one was like Time to Read People. And the other one was called You're Not Going to Take This From Me. And that was pretty much no one's going to end my stream while he was taking knives to his.
Well, and the thing that really is bad about that is that was he doing that while he was hijacking other people's channels?
Yes. While he was on Addie and Sophie's is when he did the knife thing.
So they could lose their channels over it too.
Yes, that's why we were all pissed off and like, John, get off their damn channels. Because he was, like I said, doxing everybody, making thoughts, all that type of stuff, and then actually did the knife on his wrist on camera.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
Yeah, that we were pissed off.
So he would, that's not cool. That's not cool to their channels. Yeah.
Just so they couldn't delete his stream and end his stream. So that way they log it in his stream and end it. He's still live on their channels. That's why he did it.
Yeah. And Addie busts her ass to build her channel.
Addie's been through hell and back. And to know that he's the reason she's no longer employed by that network and stuff is really sad. But that John needs to treat her right.
Yeah.
He's never going to get someone else. I mean, Model 48 and Addie are always, I think no matter what, they're always going to be there for him. First, they feel like they need to save him. He did, George, everybody.
Yeah.
Right, Carol? Well, I mean, I think he's just miserable and he's just attacking everybody else, but that doesn't mean no one else has a right to clear their name or have an opinion about it.
Right.
Yes, I don't think anybody should tell him to harm himself or, mention the whole mama thing, even though he keeps mentioning it, but I don't think anybody should play on those emotions to that extent. But at the same time, no one has to be silent and kiss his ass because he's in an emotional state that he put himself in. Nobody put him in that state but himself.
Yeah.
And he knows drinking gets him like that, but he sat there and just drank and drank and drank.
Yeah.
I mean, even Cody wasn't safe. Even Addie wasn't safe. Even MTT wasn't safe. Nobody, his friends weren't safe even. So, of course, everybody else on YouTube was a target. But I feel like he was picking at everybody he could think of, hoping someone would click the link so he could treat them like shit and get content out of it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't need to do this shit to get money anymore. But he's picking fights with everybody while he's needing money. And he knows his numbers go from 50 to 100 on his normal content streams to when he's attacking everybody, it's up to 300, 400 people.
Right.
He knows that what he's doing, but while staying on the same breath, he doesn't need it. And he doesn't need the drama. Sir, nobody was attacking you. He does need to go to inpatient. And I feel like Cody deserves, they were even going at each other on Cody's family. John's like, your mother doesn't even want you. She won't even let you come stay with her. Why is that? Why is that, Cody? Why does your mom hate you? Cody's like, my mom doesn't hate me. She just doesn't want to put up with your drama and your bullshit. And John's like, no, you don't have nobody. Nobody loves you. Your whole family even hates you. And then Cody's like, no, John, it's you. They don't want to deal with you and your drama. I could go at my mom's anytime I want. Like it was vicious, the attacks that they were doing on each other.
Wow.
Yeah, he won't get paid for any of those guys. And if he would just chill out, like you can have a conversation and talk what you want to do, but doxing and threatening and mentioning S, you're going to lose those streams. So you're doing it for nothing. N-word and the F slur. And yeah, he calls you Juana Man nonstop. And then they were even talking about your skin being dark. I don't know if y'all caught that. That pissed me off too. And nobody even mentioned it. As John said, Cody said that. I was like, no one's going to call him out for talking like that.
He what on the other live the other day?
On his live the other day, they were talking about how George's skin was dark or something like that. Like, like he's done
That's
to
ridiculous.
other people.
Yeah.
He calls him Juana Man nonstop and was talking about his hair and everything else. Like, it's disgusting. Those are low blows, and everybody has a right to call that out, and they should.
Yeah.
But I guess according to John, again, if it doesn't affect you, you should not speak out against it, because why the fuck do you care? But then say he's an empath. Empaths mean you take on other people's emotions and you care about them. You have empathy for everybody. Even if it doesn't affect you, it still affects you. That's
right.
what empath is. And John, you can't be empath while saying, who the fuck cares about anybody else? I only care about myself. That's you're not an empath. Get your shit together. And by the way, John and Cody, again, spirit box have nothing to do with readings. They were Steve would open spirit box to do her readings, and she just Googles people's names and gets it. I've never done that, John. I don't ask for anything when I do readings. And again, spirit box are not readings. That's entertainment. So shut the hell up. He wants Cody to think he has no one but John. That's what they do. Abusers do that. They isolate you, and they want you to believe that no one else wants you. You're not worthy of anybody loving you. You're not worthy of anybody caring about you. And that way you think you only have them as an option. That is what abusers do. I speak from experience, and they will isolate you. And that's what John has done with Cody. Cody's completely isolated, in my opinion. But then again, John's isolated too. Like, they both kind of are stuck with each other.
Amzi said that shit? Jesus.
Wait. Yes, he said he's an empath, y'all. Amzi started that dark skin stuff and said, yes, she did. Yes, she did. But Jules ain't got nothing to say about that.
George's skin is perfect. What sores? He has like perfect skin.
That's what I said. I was like, what the hell are y'all talking about his skin? His skin is perfect condition.
It's perfect.
I think all of it, most of us women have said, like, drop the skincare routine, dude.
Right? No, he has like perfect skin. And you're not dark. I'm just gonna say that. Like I am sorry, but like my niece, who is half black and half white, is darker than you are, George.
Christina, hello. Adam, good to see you guys. Yeah, Summer, he was talking so much shit about the spirit box and saying, she was so disgusting. She takes advantage of people for her readings. Dude, I ain't done readings in years. So what are you bitching about? But I would not ask for anything unless I knew I was completely capable of my reading. So again, shut up. Find something else to go at me for, dude. They sit silent, and that's what is pissing me off. Well, trust and believe they're watching right now. Trust and believe.
Mm-hmm. They are. Hope you're doing good, Adam.
I will be shocked if there's not a live in the middle of the night from him going ham on everybody. But again, every time he does, I'm reporting every dox. So maybe not do that and you won't lose your streams. Well, George, it's not fucking cool. And everybody should take a stand against that too. And for Jules to not take a stand against the shit that Auntie has said about you speaks volumes of herself. And makes sense why her and John have lasted as long as they have, in my opinion. But Jules is a ass kisser so fucking much. Like, hey, Rose, good to see you. Jules was kissing John's ass the whole time, but was not in that chat giving him support while he was going through it. She was, but again, I can't really fault her and say, well, you didn't stop John. Y'all really can't stop him when he's like that.
No. But
to sit here and attack everybody else who wants to speak against it and call it out because it's not right to say those things, that's just a low move, Jules, and you're not going to make any friends doing that. Going at us for having opinions and then, again, punishing Jen for anytime George talks about you. Weak ass move.
Right.
I mean, I've never saw such a weaker person to do that to Jen. And then she does all this shit to Jen and talks all this shit about Jen, and Jen barely responds. She's like, see, I told y'all she hasn't changed one bit. She's still the same piece of shit she's always been. When she was totally fine doing her artwork, not saying a thing about anybody, Jules, until you were harping on her every time you went live. And now she's upset and speaking against things. And now you're like, see, I told you guys. She was always going to do this again. That is why everybody got mad at you the first time you did this to Jen.
Yeah, I wish they would just leave her alone.
It's cruel. It's absolutely cruel in my opinion.
Like she's not, I don't really watch her, but I don't see her doing anything to anybody.
I try to offer to do emojis for her or like a background for her, but one of the mods blocked me, I guess, because I can't leave a comment, say anything. Right. I was able to leave a comment the other day when John was going at Jen. I was like, Jen, don't listen to any of the shit John has said about you. None of that is true. This is all him projecting his own issues. He's just projecting his issues onto you. Don't listen to it. That's all I said. And they ended up blocking me from there. So whatever.
Yeah.
But the offer still stands, Jen. If you want emojis or you want a background, I'll make it any kind of way you want.
Yeah, I don't know why Jules is. I mean, it was actually over. Jen was what started really bugging me about Muzz, was because she was so obsessed with getting all those body cam things. And it was like, I didn't understand why it went to that level.
It became an obsession, in my opinion.
And it just started to really gross me out, because it's like Jen was not in a good state. She was having clearly a mental breakdown. It's like, don't antagonize it.
Oh, good. Well, like I said, she keeps making fun of Jen's artwork. She's going to keep buying paper plates, guys. Jules, what are you doing that's positive? Jen's artwork is actually positive. Her cooking is positive. Teaching people how to make crafts from the Dollar Tree is positive stuff. What are you doing? You're playing body cam at people in their worst moments. You're poking fun at people. You're talking about everybody's downfalls. You're making fun of everybody. You're threatening everybody. If George speaks on you, Jen's going to get it. Like, you're doing all that shit, then saying, oh, Jen's content sucks.
Right.
Very draining, Jen and Barrett. And there is a way to protect yourself, which I still got to teach y'all how to do an egg cleanse. It's very easy. I taught someone last night how to do it. It was a client. And it sucks so bad because I have two people that really want a reading from me right now. Two people I really care about that have been here for me for years, that are loyal people, that are good-hearted people that need readings. And I don't even feel like I can do it.
You can.
Not because I don't have abilities, but I just don't. I'm going to always worry. Are they going to turn their back on me afterwards? Are they just using me? Are they, like, even though I know that that's not true about them, like, it's blocking me. Right. And it sucks because I want to do that for them, but I don't feel safe doing it. And it's not even their fault.
No, I know.
And it really shitty because they really need messages.
Yeah.
Right, B. A lot of artwork is made out of products you can find around your house. Like I said, I love art. I've got canvas myself and paint, and I paint with the kids all the time. We paint rocks, we paint cardboard, we make we do stuff all the time. So I'm glad Jen's doing artwork, and y'all, that is her therapy. So again, for Jules to poke at that is something wrong with
it. Doesn't hurt. She's not hurting anybody by doing it. If you don't want to
so much shit, like, oh,
if you don't want to see it, don't watch it.
And she said, Jen stole that from Lisa. Like I said, do you know how many channels there are about Dollar Tree?
Mm-hmm.
There's so many YouTube channels focused on Dollar Tree arts and crafts. So knock it off. Lisa did not invent it. Even though, Lisa, I have nothing bad to say against you. But stop letting Jules lie to everybody, please, and say that Jen stole that from you.
Yeah, but
Dollar
Tree art is not. Yeah, except for that matter, Cooch was doing it first.
Cooch did it first years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
It was Cooch's Dollar Store Dreams.
Yep.
So if anything, maybe they copied her, which I don't think anybody copied. Again, no one. Just like with the body cam, nobody owns body cams.
Right. Right.
Because Jules, remember, who was it that was showing body cam? Was it Kendra? And Jules like, she's stealing my content.
It could be. I don't remember.
Body cam too. Yeah, and Jules like, she's stealing my content. I do body cam. You're not even original. Again, Jules, there's.
But isn't Jules showing when she shows body cam, isn't she basically just showing it off of another YouTube channel?
Yes, that's all she's doing.
So the YouTube, she's copying it from the YouTube channel that she's playing it from.
Exactly.
So it's not even her content to begin with.
Like I said, I could go right now and get a body cam. We could sit here and watch it, and I could just pause and talk through it and do the exact same thing Jules is doing while she screams how amazing her content is. And it's how so forward thinking for her to show body cam, and she beats everybody out of content. Again, Jules, I've been featured on multiple channels with millions of views from my content. So take a seat.
Well,
Sophie,
I hope she doesn't let it bother her. She shouldn't let it bother her. She's doing good.
I don't think Jen will let it get to her.
She's doing good, so she needs to just stay on that path and not let.
Oh, that's what it was, Shanna. Sophie was doing a neighbor's story, and Jules like, she's stealing my content, when it was a very viral story about neighbors fighting over water in the pond.
Okay.
That's what it was. Yes, Shanna, thank you for the facts, because I appreciate that. But she picks on Jen. It just sucks because after Joel said that, I saw Jen stream. She's like, I guess we're gonna do some more paper plates, guys. And it, like, you could tell it was kind of messing with her. Joel's saying shit like that. But Jen, your art is beautiful. Everybody's enjoying it except her and her crew. Don't let it stop anything you're doing. But I would maybe try not to speak on her, because that's what she wants you to do. And Jules, she could strike you so easily, I hope you know. Because you are playing her stuff, the majority of her stuff, every time she goes live. So I would maybe chill the fuck out. Because Jen could take your channel if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Anyways.
She could report the heck out of her, that's for sure.
She's just being evil and mean. I'm proud of Jen too. Like I said, when I saw her cooking something, I never thought I'd see the day Jen cooking a meal. And their house looks beautiful and clean. And she's going to her therapy, and she's looking very well put together every time she goes live. It's like the same old Jen before things went bad, in my opinion.
Right.
But I feel like Jules is doing everything she can to push her back into that person.
No, when I saw her the other day, I was like, she looked really good. She looked really healthy, and
just like, everybody's teaching Jen like a kindergartner. Are you jealous that we don't have all this sympathy and empathy for you because you're actually a mean, bitter a-hole to people?
Yeah.
Jen's not being like that toward anybody. Again, she wasn't even talking about anybody until you started attacking her.
Yeah.
Because she had people in her chat that you didn't like.
Right. No,
Which
I don't see Jen bothering anybody. I really don't. And I don't understand why. I didn't really understand why John was going at her. I don't understand why Jules is going at her, because, I mean, unless I'm missing something, I don't see her bothering anybody. Like,
she'll speak very candid. She'll speak a little bit about the said creator, which is Jules.
Right.
She said a few things, but nothing that warrants a hate stream in return or covering
of course she's
it.
Gonna say stuff. Jules is covering her like crazy, so I could see her.
Yeah, Jen has a right to respond, but I just don't want her to get too far away from what she set out to do originally.
Right.
Because that's what Jules wants you to do, Jen.
Well, yeah, I hope she sticks to the path she's on, because she seems to be doing really well, and that's, her well-being and mental health is more important than giving said creator the time of day. Well,
I'm going to speak on something else. So I ended up taking Crystal's wrench, and people are like, oh, see, Jules is like, Crystal, did you know Siwa brought it publicly that she took your wrench? First off, Crystal's the one that announced it in John's that I took her wrench. Okay. I had not said anything. Wasn't going to say anything. She was not blocked on the channel. She's still not blocked on the channel. There was no issue. It's just, as a moderator, you can't be in another stream that's targeting my channel, my subs and everybody, and it's calling everybody idiots and losers and all this other shit. Like, that's not a good look to be a moderator to represent my channel and go do that. That was the only issue. I have no issue that you had a different opinion than me, because I did see Crystal say, And Jules, oh, Siwa took the wrench because I hang out here. I've never had an issue with you doing that. You've been over there for over a year while being a mod here, where me and her been fighting since May. Okay. And I've not said anything about it. Have not had any issue with it either. But when you're in a stream and you're telling how we're all stupid over here and have no sense and nobody knows what they're talking about and nobody's losing rights and we're all just full of shit thinking people's rights are being messed with and we're just overreacted for no reason and talking shit about because I don't agree with Trump and I have a right to that, but I don't judge anybody if they do agree. I'm just, for myself, I don't agree with it because so many people I care about are losing rights. So anyways, that's the issue. Not that you hang out with Jules, not that you have a different opinion, because me and you have butted heads over weapons before because you think a regular citizen should own an AK and I don't. I think kids' lives are more important than you wanting to have rights to an AK-47. That is my opinion. And we butted heads over that for years. And I've never had an issue with you besides we just agree to disagree. And that's something I hold way more dear to my heart than politics. I don't even give a fuck about politics, except it's about humans being mistreated. That's the only reason I fucking care at all. But to sit there and now try to say I made it public when I did not, and to say that I took the wrench because you hang out with Jules and I'm being selfish and I don't go live enough and I shouldn't care that you're over there. I don't care you're over there. But trashing people over here or talking crap about us because we're trying to do something to help people is not, it's just not a good look for the channel. And that's the only reason I took the wrench. I don't have an issue with you. I don't have hate for you. I don't have any ill will towards you. But please don't say that I took the wrench just because you simply disagreed with me, because I've been very vocal over here for a long time. I want people to disagree with me or call me out if I say something that's wrong. I actually welcome that, to where I even made a t-shirt called the Ball Buster University. I enjoy my ball busters. They put me in my place and come with facts when I can't know everything that happens on YouTube. So please don't misrepresent what happened with that situation. That's all. And don't let Jules convince you of anything different. Nobody said anything awful about you or trashed you or anything else. She's just trying to now puppeteer you to get you to talk shit about me. That's it. Anywho's.
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is just crazy.
It is crazy. And I feel like I would be an awful person to not speak on my platform about what's going on with ICE and the LGBTQIA. And John's like, I'm a gay guy. None of my rights are being affected yet, sir. Yet they're not being affected. Just fucking wait. Already people who are trans can't participate in other sports, and already prisoners who are completely transgendered now, even though they are transgendered and were listed as a female because they went through the transition, they now had to move to the men's facility, even though they're full woman physically. Now they have to be forced over there just because their birth certificate said men at first. So yeah,
well, his rights are being affected. That's the thing, is like if he wanted to go and get a job at like Target or someplace like that, like he no longer has the, diversity, equity, inclusion.
Correct.
Anymore. Like it does affect him if he were to try to, there are a lot of companies where if he were to try to go get a job, they could discriminate against him.
Well, the discrimination mainly was for like federal contractors, but that's just the start of it. People
well, DEI though, isn't it is, but it isn't. Like a lot of companies within themselves were very much promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they're no longer doing that.
Plane crashes after they fired a lot of the TSA people.
Yeah.
You can't call that a coincidence, people. I don't even feel like I just got Princess used to being on a plane, and now I don't feel like we could go on a plane anymore.
Right.
Because like that, people, they're just falling out of the skies at this point.
Yeah, I know. I have a trip coming up at the end of the month, and I'm like, oh, do I really want to get on an airplane right now? Like, I don't know.
Target and Walmart cut their DEI program, says George.
Yep. Yeah. Along with a lot of other companies. I mean, it was some of the companies that did really surprised me. But nope, I'm boycotting the crap out of those companies. No, thank you.
Oh my God, did you hear what Coca-Cola did?
Oh no, what did they do now? Coca-Cola was a big one.
They called all these the people they're workers in. A lot of them are immigrants, and or they're here on a green card or whatever. They called them all into work and told them they were being laid off. But instead of letting them go home, they had the ICE agents come in and arrest them all.
Jesus.
They turned in their own employees. So not only did these employees go to work, and this was at the end of the pay week, and they didn't get paid. So that whole week they worked for free, and they're not getting paid for it because now they're an ICE. That is what Coca-Cola did. So
I hope they get sued.
Because Coca-Cola turned in all their employees. So like I said, they came in to work. They've been loyal workers. And not only do they get fired, but then they get turned in by their own company. They don't even get to go home and say goodbye to their family and explain or say anything. They just got put in handcuffs and taken away.
God, I hope they sue the crap out of them.
Oh, I hope so too. Now Coca-Cola.
I'm glad I don't drink Coke.
They issued an apology that they didn't, or they made a mistake. Too fucking late.
Too little, too late. Yeah, damage is done. You knew damn well what you were doing.
So for all these people who think no one's rights are being affected, who cares? It doesn't affect white people. How selfish can you fucking be?
Right?
And how ignorant can you fucking be? Guess what? People used to not be able to speak up about things like this, or you get arrested, or you get in trouble, or people couldn't used to have voices without great punishment. Now we're all allowed to have free reign to speak freely, well, within guidelines, and as long as you're not threatening people, of course. But we are allowed to have free speech now. Now you want us to shut up and just sit by and watch things go down? Not fucking happening, John.
No.
And anybody else who has an issue with us speaking out against it, no. Yes, Deborah.
I will respect people's opposing opinions, but don't infringe on my opinion.
And I respect people that do, I think there are good things that Trump's doing, but the bad outweighs the good, in my opinion. And a lot of people are now saying this is not what I voted for.
Right.
So.
No, Deborah, nobody is safe. That's the problem. Unless you are a billionaire. I was going to say, unless you are a billionaire white man.
You have to be a straight white rich man. Then you're safe.
Yep.
Everybody else, you're going to be affected in one way or the other.
Nobody's off limits.
And you're just not aware of it yet.
Right. Right. No, it's scary times. It's really scary times. And I just wish people would tread lightly and realize that words matter, accusations matter.
Mm-hmm.
And, they have implications and they have consequences. You can't accuse people of things, certainly without proof, but even then, there are things that you just don't take public and make.
You heard about what Trump is, about what they entered into a motion yesterday about Greenland. Did anybody else hear about the senator or governor that issued a new motion for the U.S. to take over Greenland, but instead of Greenland, they're going to call it red, white, and blue land.
Red, white, and blue land. Yeah, that's going to.
So we got the Gulf of America now.
I'd say we got the Gulf of America. We've got Canada.
Red, white, and blue land.
We've got a new star on the flag called Canada, and
it's like a kindergartner trying to name a puppy dog, just call it dog. Like, we're going to call Greenland red, white, and blue land. Are you fucking serious? But
red,
guess
white,
what? Greenland's not for sale. Neither is Panama Canal. Neither is Canada. None of those are for fucking sale. So if Trump says they're going to be ours, same as Gaza. Gaza's ours. I was going to say
Gaza's not up for sale either.
He thinks, there's nothing to buy. So you just want to take it. You're just going to take it. You don't care about all the people.
There's nothing to buy. No, it's land. It's land. Like, people live there.
That's people's home. That's their land. They said that we're going to come back to Gaza and rebuild it stronger than before. But then we got Trump saying, oh no, we're going to flatten it out and we're going to build. It's right on the beach. It's beautiful. And there's nothing to buy. We're just going to take it.
We're going to make it into a magnificent resort. Well, you can't make it into a magnificent resort because people.
That's like saying, I like the shit in your house. I'm just going to kick down the door and take it. I'm not going to pay you nothing.
No, that's like me saying, you know what? I really, really love Vermont. I'm going to go take it over and make it into a resort. Right. I'm just going to go to Vermont. It's mine now.
Exactly, Miss Joanna.
I own the Vermont.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that someone that actually was a motion entered into evidence or entered yesterday in the court to buy Greenland and call it white.
Vermont will from now be known as Jennifer Land and Ginevra Land.
Right.
And you know, that's from now on.
Well, people
It's
do, I
no
don't know
longer
if people
Vermont.
understand that if Trump tries to take, he's not taking no for an answer. Those other countries are going to step up and want to fight. They already said they're not going to let him buy Canada. They're not
Right.
going to let him buy Greenland, Panama Canal, or Gaza. They
Right.
are all willing to fight. There are countries that say,
Yeah.
if he tries to do it, we're going to step in and we're going to teach you a lesson. Leave our stuff alone. And Trump's
Right.
like, fuck you. I'm not taking no for an answer. Nothing new for him.
Well, the Panama Canal one is really interesting because it's like
A lot of power with Panama Canal. Yes.
well,
It's a lot of pull over there.
there's a lot of pull and a lot of power, and they have sanctions against Russia, which I
Well,
find
do you
interesting.
know why he changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? Do you know why he did it?
No, God only
Because
knows.
if as long as it's the Gulf of Mexico, you cannot drill into the Gulf. But with changing it to the Gulf of America, he can drill.
Can drill.
Yes,
Yeah. Doesn't work that way.
that's so he thinks. That's why he was trying to do it. But it was so hilarious when he was being inaugurated and he said, the Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America. And Hillary Clinton's over there laughing her ass
Oh,
off.
I saw that. She was over there trying so hard to not just bust out laughing. You could tell she was like, oh my God.
That was hilarious. Because she knows that the cameras are always watching. Right. And she's like, she just couldn't help it. Like she made me laugh.
Yep. No, I don't blame you. Hillary, I don't blame you for wanting no part of him. Jeez. I love how they said that they're gonna Canada's gonna annex Washington, Oregon, and California, though. That I think
they're like,
funny.
Oh, we'll do the same. We're just annex that same energy.
And we're like, please take us, Canada, take us.
Canada's like, you're going to put 25% tariffs on us? Well, we're going to do it right back. Trump's like, oh, yeah, we'll double it. Like, dude, they're
Canada's
not
like, okay. Yeah, Canada's like, okay.
No, Canada said, America, you should know that most of y'all are on our power grid. You should know that. We've been here for you guys.
Exactly.
And don't punish us. It's not our fault.
Exactly.
I'm glad I got my solar panels. I got a bunch of solar panels to charge things just in case.
Yeah, I have those too.
If y'all don't have solar panels that
Canada,
charge
please
your
take
phone,
us.
get
Please
one.
take us. I don't think you're going to get a lot of argument from us in the Pacific Northwest. Take us, please.
This is why I said I'm ready to fucking go somewhere else. But
just come and us.
Now it's too dangerous to get on a plane, though. Now I'm like stuck.
So I said I've got a trip coming up at the end of the month, and I'm like, do I really want to get on an airplane right now? I mean, I don't know, man.
The solar panels MTV are not expensive. I bought one for like $12 off of TikTok. I bought another one that's much bigger for $30, and that charges a lot more things and has a lot more power and will last for 3 days. It just depends which ones you get, but they're not expensive. But everybody
I have
should
like a backpack that I got. I don't know.
That's what I have. I got one of those too.
Yeah, it was a little, I mean, not super expensive. I think it was like $100 or something. And it was like, it has a huge like solar panel on it. And then it's got like all the charging ports.
But I didn't pay $100. I paid like $30.
I think mine was like, I mean, it's a pretty heavy duty. I mean, it's a nice backpack, but
y'all can find them on TikTok Shop or Amazon. Yeah. They have all the bug out stuff, which bug out stuff is if you collect things for worst case scenarios, whether it be wildfire, flooding, or something going on with the country.
You know what my niece said to me the other day when I was taking her home from school? I died laughing. So there's like down the street from me, there's like a Ford dealership, but it's like the vans, like the big vans that they, like cargo vans and like the 13-person vans, like it's those. It's like it's industrial, I guess is what you would call it, like an industrial Ford dealership. And we were driving past it, and she goes, that dealership right there, if there's ever an apocalypse, that's our meeting point. We're going to take over those vans.
Was it Zombieland way too many times?
I don't know what she's been watching, but I just died laughing. She's like,
watch Zombieland. It'll make sense to you why she's saying that.
She's like, that's the perfect meeting point. We're going to meet there. Those vans. We're going to take over those vans.
Jen and Barrett says, all of our grocery stores now have Canada flag labels on the items to encourage purchasing our own because of the tariff talks. Never saw that before. And groceries are expensive enough for everyone. They are, dude. I bought strawberries the other day. and it was $8 for a thing of strawberries.
Yeah.
And used to it'd be like 4 for the 2 pound, and now it's like 8. So it's already double in price.
Oh, and produce especially is going to go up.
Yeah,
because
and
of
I
it.
love produce. I like making my cucumber salad and my fruit bowls, and I love produce. I'd
Me
rather
too.
produce, fresh vegetables and fruit any day over anything else. But
Yeah, me too.
that's it's too expensive, and that
It's
is so ass backwards about America.
Yeah,
It's more expensive to eat healthy.
right. It
With
is.
the less chemicals. The less chemicals, the more money you're spending.
Yeah, it is. And produce is just going to get, I think, really outrageous in price. And I think we're going to have shortages because of everything that's going on.
Well, with all the migrants disappearing, we're definitely going to have shortages because the farmers saying a lot of the produce is now rotting because they don't have
because there's nobody pick it. Yeah.
Because everybody's too scared to show up.
Yeah.
I don't blame them, George. And Trump needs to leave Canada alone. They've been our allies for forever. They've never done us wrong. He's just trying to pick fight. He's trying to bully everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I want it. I'm going to take it. I don't care what you have to say about it. Straight up colonizers.
Yep.
Never thought we'd see the day of this shit happening again. I'm not green fingered at all. I never keep plants alive. Poor things. I'm good at keeping a garden alive, but flowers, no.
Oh yeah, our eggs are insane.
I will say basil is the easiest thing to grow. So if you want to start with basil, it is so fucking easy. They multiply and it will last you forever if you cook a lot. When I lived in Austin, I planted basil and my sister was so happy. She's like, "Oh, thank God. I don't have to go to the store and get this anymore." I mean, it was so easy to grow.
Yeah.
That rosemary.
Rosemary is really easy to grow. Yeah.
So
rosemary grows like a weed.
Yeah. But it's good for cooking. I made some taco spaghetti 2 days ago, and I'm not a big fan of it. I saw a recipe on YouTube and it looked good, and I was like, this looks really good, but I'm not that big of a fan. Never had taco spaghetti before. Didn't even know that was a thing. He's in the steel industry, and Trump did this the last time he was in office. It screwed over a lot of steel companies. They can't afford to buy American. It's too much money. Right. Did y'all see Elon Musk in the Oval Office yesterday?
Oh my God, with his son.
The son looked over to Trump and said, "I want you to shut your mouth now." Did you see that?
Oh.
He told Trump, "I want you to shut your mouth now." And you could hear it. Let me try to find it.
I saw a thing somewhere too where the kid said something like, and I can't unhear it now that somebody played it, where he said something like, "You're not president, go away." And it's like, as soon as I saw a meme of that and I'm like, oh my God, now I can't unhear that. Like the kid, I think, really did say that.
I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to try to find where the kid says, "I want you to shut your mouth now." And Trump just looks at him with just like a stone cold face. Like, what is he supposed to say?
Why would you bring your kid to a press briefing in the Oval Office?
Someone said he did it to appear to be human.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm still going through all the videos. Okay, here it is.
I think a lot of the manufacturing is going to be really affected by this. Especially with these tariffs, it's going to catch up. It's just going to,
okay,
be a trickle down effect.
Video.
Okay.
1 second, guys. Let me try to pull this up for you guys so y'all can see it. Dude, I have over 100 notifications on my TikTok. I am so bad at checking messages.
I saw that, George. I saw that. He was digging for some oil.
He was digging over and over and over and over again. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix my background. Okay. Let me take this off the screen. 1 second, y'all. No, kids are hilarious. That was hilarious, in my opinion. All right.
And they're
Dude, Elon's little human shield just tell Donald Trump, "I want you to shush." Let's do it again.
this is from one year to the next are the same.
Look at Trump's face as he does it. Did he just get bullied by a 3-year-old?
Shush. Let's do it again.
This is from one year to the next are the same, and they're
He looks so.
Trump looks down at him 2 times. Like, did he just fucking say that?
That's funny.
That
Where's
kid
the
was
one? I
hilarious.
gotta find the one where he says, where is it?
Hey, Sophie. We're just hanging out and talking about all sorts of things. Right now, we're talking about Elon Musk's son telling President Trump to shut up, practically. And Trump didn't say nothing back. And he did it in front of everybody. Kendra, if you're still here, Valerie says, North Slope is always hiring, pays well, internal and external work, free room and board. You could be a camp mom, which Valerie told me about that when my son was looking for a job, where you'll go to Alaska and work for them, and they will pay for everything for you to work for them, and you'll get good money.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal.
I would do it if I didn't have, if I didn't take care of Princess. I would love one of those jobs. They also do jobs at Yellowstone where the room and board is free. They pay for you to get out there and everything, and you don't have to pay nothing to live there. But everything is covered, and you get to live at the national park, and all you got to do is keep an eye on the campground. That's it. I would do something like that in a heartbeat. Or hell, I'd go to a yacht or a cruise ship and work. Hey, Sarah, long time no see. Hey, Renee, long time no see to you too. Elon is the president. Didn't the little boy told him, shut up? You better not say a word. Well, he's like, I want you to shush. I thought he said, I want you to shut your mouth, but he said shush. And then Trump had nothing to say. It was funny.
I wish I could find that.
Which
I have
one?
to the one where he's like, "You're not president. Go away."
Well, I will say this, guys. I was pissed off with, and to my understanding, with the whole Doge thing, Department of Government Efficiency. He has a whole his own little sector, his own little team that's supposed to go looking to see where all the funds from taxpayers' money is going to. Now, everybody under the sun, including myself, was pissed off that he was accessing these computers with all this information. But after their press conference yesterday in the Oval Office with the kid, and Elon's describing it, I guess that's the only way they could tell where a lot of the money is going to. Because he said a lot of the money was going to people who are dead and gone, but there's still money being deposited or transferred to people when they're not even here. He said someone was listed as 150 years old. It's still getting payments from the government. So, I mean, I guess that's the only way he could look for that stuff. So I don't know if everybody freaking out is like, if we should be freaking out about that, or is he just doing what's needed to be done? I can't tell anymore.
No, I think it's, I don't know. I sent it to you on email.
Okay, let me look it up. But if Kendra's here, Kendra, there are so many good jobs where you could relocate, and again, they'll give you room and board. You just have to look up for those jobs that give you room and board. And again, national parks are really good at hiring people. Wait, what is this? Oh, wrong email. 1 second. But national parks would be really good for you, Kendra, because you're into wildlife and all that. Like, that would be really good for you. Like I said, I would do it in a heartbeat if I could, but I can only work part-time right now because, like I said, full-time job, I felt I was being neglectful and I wasn't able to be there with my daughter enough.
I agree, Renee. He's not, the thing is he's not an elected person. And so he has no business.
That is where it is.
He has no business messing with the finances of this company, or of this country.
Of the country.
Yeah. The country is not a company, is what I was.
He has even all these little young teens supposed to be helping him. I don't get why they're helping.
Right.
Okay, hold on. Let me show y'all. Watching from Pasig City, Philippines. Well, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here. I would love to go to the Philippines. It's beautiful there. Maybe that's where I'll relocate, the Philippines. But there are a lot of people that live there now and are just loving life. People are like, the American dream is not possible in America anymore. You're going to have to relocate if you want that dream anymore. And I definitely believe that. It's my own opinion again. All right, this is what Ginevra is talking about. So let me try to make this larger. Okay.
Democracy. This may seem like, well, are we in a democracy? To restore democracy. This may seem.
He says, "You're not the president. You need to go
You need
away."
to go away.
Are we to restore democracy?
Someone said, "Are we sure this kid's name is not Damien?" Because people swear that Elon Musk is the Antichrist that everybody's been waiting for and all this other shit. And like, maybe, I don't know. They're like, "Are you sure this kid's not the Antichrist, like the seed of the Antichrist?" But that kid is funny. And the fact that he's up to Trump, one of the biggest bullies, to some people, okay,
Right.
and speaking so candidly like that in front of all those cameras, that's hilarious. That's
is funny.
comedic gold.
No,
I
that's
thought it
not
was
Amber Heard's son.
but it's not.
It's that what's her name? That singer, that weird singer chick.
He has a few. I cannot believe.
No, that's
Elon
whose
Musk
daughter
had a
that is
child
though.
with
What is her
Amber
name?
Heard.
Why can't I think of what her name is? She's a
He's
very
got a lot of
strange.
kids.
Oh, he does. He's like a Nick Cannon.
Holy shit. Tau Techno Mechanicus Musk is one of his kids' names. Damien Musk. There's a Damien. Saxon Musk. Kai Musk. Vivian Jenna Wilson. I don't know why she would have that name. Nevada Alexander Musk and Griffin Musk.
The one that's Wilson didn't want Musk as her last name anymore.
Oh, he has 12 kids, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The first child he had was a boy named Nevada, and the child died as an infant. He and his then wife had 5 more children, twins, and then a set of triplets. Oh, so they were using fertilization then.
Probably. But he has he has 2 kids now. That one X is and another baby with that
musician Grimes.
That's it, Grimes. That's it.
Musk later welcomed 3 children, musician Grimes, whose legal name is Claire Elise Boucher, and twins and another child with tech executive Siobhan Zillis. Musk has stepped to the spotlight recently alongside President-elect Donald Trump, blah, blah, blah. He believes that people should have many more children, and he wants to have a lot of children.
Yeah, he's another Nick Cannon.
Dang. I didn't know he had that many kids, but which ones?
Yeah.
What about the Amber Heard child? Does he not have a child with Amber Heard?
Is that with Amber Heard? Is that who the father of her child is?
I'm looking it up. Okay, there's no concrete proof that her child is Elon Musk's child. She has a daughter named Unag Page, I guess. It won't stop the internet from theorizing the news of her second child is just fueling the fire. She was dating Musk when she got pregnant, though. I saw the pictures when after the trial, she was dating Musk and holding hands with Musk, and she was with him when she got pregnant. Okay. So it's safe to assume.
Right. It just hasn't been confirmed.
Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm so behind on the comments. Mm-hmm. Well, the Senate is fighting back against Musk. They don't want Musk involved in any of this shit. Oh, Kendra doesn't want to relocate. That makes sense. I don't blame her. But if her daughter gets older, they could both go relocate and do things together if they wanted to. Yeah, well, people said Elon Musk, like, why are you involved in this? Don't you have a conflict of interest? He's like, he goes, everything I do is public. He's like, if you go to the website, the Doge Twitter account, everything we're doing, we're posting it on X. So he's like, if you want to see everything we pull and everything we do and everything we find, go to Doge Twitter or the Doge X account and you'll see everything we do. And that way y'all can keep me accountable if there is a conflict of interest, which
there is a conflict of interest. Like not the majority, but a lot of his money comes from the American government, from defense contracts. There's a conflict of interest right there. And that's why he won't look at the defense contracts. He's not going to look at the defense funding because a lot of that is where he gets his money.
That's crazy. That's crazy. 12 kids, y'all. And he wants to have so many more. He would be a horrible lay. You cannot think of that guy and be like, oh, he's probably good in bed. There's nothing about that man. that
Right?
would make you think he's good at anything like that.
Nope.
He probably just lays there. Lord.
Well, if his dance skills tell you anything, same thing with Trump.
He is sure shaking a lot of shit up in the government, though. That's for sure.
Yep.
He got his money's worth.
Yeah, isn't the daughter that he treated like garbage, isn't that the one who changed her name because she didn't want to be associated with him?
No idea.
I think that's the one, the Wilson, the one who has last name Wilson. I think it was she.
That's
she
a
changed her
very
name.
big vocal move to do in the public eye.
Yeah, it was a very
Well, it
public
was.
thing.
Like, are you trying to get cut out of the will?
Oh, I don't think she cared.
Jeez.
Or I don't remember if it was a she or he. I don't remember if it was a son or a daughter. But one of his kids was like, nope.
Hey, Miss Liability. You're very late to the show. We've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. We already talked about John and Jules and Drazo and Johnny Mac denouncing Jules, saying Jules was controlling everybody and all that shit. Oh, speaking of, let me get back into that. So while Drazo said, I had your back against Siwa. Siwa kept poking at you and she did me wrong with the self-love situation. Hey, dumbass, do you not realize that after y'all threw that whole fit about self-love coming up at that one time and me putting him in his place, mind you, Miss Joanna, I said he wouldn't be a good lay. Okay, but all that huff and puff about SoFlo being on my channel, but then when Jules went to go be part of Britter's channel, SoFlo came up 2 or 3 times and Jules hung out in the chat and said it's okay because he's up here to speak against hurting children. When he came up here to us,
that's what she threw this stink about.
Yeah, he was doxing. Do people forget that Self-Love was showing Drazo's wife and kids and doxing all of them and all that shit and threatening to show up to Drazo's house before I spoke to him? That's why I ended up getting involved. So, Jules, it's okay if Self-Love goes on a panel if it means clearing things up to protect children. But if I do it, it's not fucking okay. Again, you're so full of shit because within a week, SoFlo went up multiple times on Britter's channel that you were modding for, and you said it was totally fine and okay. So, miss me with y'all's bullshit that y'all were really upset about the SoFlo situation. Y'all were not. Y'all just fell for
No, they weren't. They weren't. It had nothing to do with that.
Absolutely
I mean,
not.
that was their excuse. Yeah.
I know, Miss Renee. It's going to get much worse. That's what I'm saying. It's cheaper to live elsewhere, y'all.
Hey, Stanley Cup.
I know it's going to cost money, but I did my taxes, so just waiting on it. Hopefully nobody's stopping it.
Yeah, I need to do mine still too.
I did mine as soon as I could.
It takes me forever to do mine.
My deductible this year was $21,000. I don't know how.
Damn.
I don't know how I got a $21,000 deductible. Usually it's $15,000 because if you're self-employed, you get a $15,000 deductible. But this year it was $21,000. I don't even know what for. I made way less this year than I did last year.
Is it because they were combining the child credit with it?
I only got a $600 child credit.
Oh.
I didn't even get because they say you could get up to $3,000 for each child. I only got $600.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck happened. But some people are saying that our tax refunds might be stopped. Better not. I kind of need that shit.
Well, yeah, they can't because I mean, they can try to do whatever they want, but that's again like Social Security. That's something people pay into, and if you're overpaying, then you're deserved that money back.
It's his transgender daughter that he treats horrible because he's against transgender. That doesn't bother people. Well, that makes sense then. I don't blame his child whatsoever. And Sophie, and that's, again, John's like, we should have never fell out. You did me wrong. John, you turn on Sophie because Johnny Mac and Jules were mad at Sophie for not going with their bullshit and attacking me. She disagreed with how they handled it. That's it. And then all of a sudden she became the target. And then Jules kept running to you and telling you to get rid, and Johnny Mac, to get rid of Siwa, get rid of Sophie. You even went on Reels and said that they would not leave you alone for the whole weekend, trying to beg you to get rid of me and Sophie. And so that was already lurking in your brain. And then people kept running to you and say, oh, Sophie's in Deadly's chat. Sophie's supporting Deadly, talking shit about you and sending pizzas to your door. She supports it. Jules was in your ear that whole time trying to get you mad at Sophie. And then when Sophie didn't go with your shit, be like, you're right. I'm never talking to Deli again because you said so. That's all it took for you to now make her the target. So stop putting it on Sophie and stop putting on our fallout on me because I refuse to lie and say that that word was never said out of Cody's mouth. So you are not being honest with how things went down. Jules would run back to Soflo if he would open the door. Well, she still looks at his his channel all the time. I haven't even seen his channel. I don't know how long. She keeps tabs on him. But Miss Liability, I'm glad you like that emoji of the bee. You better get it and don't say a word. I won't. But I'm going to have to hang on to it.
Wait, really? After the bee?
Mac is back with the bee, but Drazo isn't. Well, that's going to be conflicted. That's not going to last very long.
No.
I don't see how that's going to work.
And the thing is like Mac and Drazo are just
Oh, Drazo was pissed.
like
he said
best
Jules was
freaking little
him.
buddies. Like anywhere Johnny Mac goes, Drazo's going to follow. So
right, they're thick as thieves, that's for sure.
If one of them is going to be okay with Jules and the other one not, like I don't know how well
he deleted his video, so I wonder if
I saw that. Yeah,
they're trying.
I wanted to see what shit he said about me, and I didn't get to.
Well, I heard a little bit of it, and I turned it off. He was like, "I defended you because Siwa kept poking at you and kept attacking you for no reason." I'm like, dude, did you forget how everything went down? This is why I play old streams to remind you, because y'all keep trying to rewrite history and try to just say something happened a way it didn't fucking happen. Like y'all keep saying all you want that nobody called Carrie's mother and told her that Carrie died. Someone called the police and said you couldn't get a hold of Carrie and you think she OD'd on stream. And that's why the cops contacted Carrie's mother and said, we're getting reports that your daughter might have OD'd on a live stream. We need to find her. That is what fucking happened. That is not a text to the mother. That was the cops showing up. That is what Carrie said happened. That's why I played that stream. But if y'all would not try to rewrite things or say things happened the way it totally did it, like I said, saying I was going at Jules for no reason, bullshit. That's why we play old stuff or try to remind you. But like I said, John made a whole thing. If you're his friend, you better not play old streams or he's done with you. But again, Jules just got through playing old streams. Are you going to say something? Probably not. Because you kind of need her. Jules will overlook a lot of stuff. I won't. And clearly Ginevra is not either, which she's not trying to have issues with John. She's just saying,
and it's not to say that I don't. I'm not saying that I don't care about him and that I'm not still going to be friends with him. Like I just don't agree with what he did and what he said and how he went about it. And he was out of control. And there was no stopping it. And
right, Chris.
I that's all I can say about it is I don't agree with it. I don't agree with a lot of what a lot of people are doing and how it was handled. And I think things were said that shouldn't have been said all the way around. But I can't, I just feel like you can't go as far as you did and make the accusations you did when there's no proof, there's no anything, like nothing. Because like that's
the two big things he did was the accusations on George and then going live on Sophie and Addie's channel and doing that knife thing on his wrist. That
wasn't right on their channels.
So wrong and awful. And then beg Sophie to be his friend again as he's doing that.
Right.
Not happening.
Right.
And he's like, oh, look, Siwa's here. Of course she's here. Dude, I wasn't in your chat. I was in Sophie's. I was supporting Sophie and trying to help her get you off her fucking channel. Right. Had nothing to do with me wanting to be there for you or oh, you mentioned me, so I'm hopping in the chat to get attention. I didn't say nothing to you for over a week. So he just
I just really, really, really wish he wouldn't have gone there and gone. I feel like he did hurt MTT and hurt Addie, and I don't know what he was accomplishing by doing all that, and I wish he wouldn't have.
I wish he'd make apologies, but we all know it's not going to go anywhere. Honestly, it's not going to mean nothing at the end of the day.
Well, that's the thing is like when he gets like that, there's no stopping him. There's no
Like
you
I said, I
know,
used to
I
be one of
hope
the ones
he
that blamed
sees.
all the people. But
Yeah,
after watching him do some of that stuff, and I tried before to get him to chill the fuck out and calm down, and it only makes you become the target. So try to go easy on some of the hags, y'all. But yeah, all of you saying it's love, they love each other, and they're never going to get physical. Stop saying that shit.
right.
The best way I feel to handle it as people on his channel is when he gets like that, y'all just need to go quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, say, John, I'm not going to support this. I'll talk to you next time or something like that. But don't support it and don't jump in on his attacks of people. It's
Right.
not going to look good on you, and it's going to look like you're helping and enabling. So it's not worth it. You don't need to be caught up in legal shit because you care about him, because he's not going to care about getting y'all in legal trouble.
Right. Well, and the thing is, at least, you know, for me, the way I see it is I can disagree and think something somebody does is really wrong and still not want to see anything bad come to that person. Like, I don't want him to hurt himself. I don't,
Well, no
you
one
know,
wants
I
to.
feel horrible for what he is going through. I can empathize with him.
Let me say
But-
bye to Miss Joanna real quick. Bye,
Okay.
Miss Joanna. Get some rest. Love you, girl. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for the membership, hon. Thank you for being here. Lolcal New wants to say to you, Ginevra, not my place to say, but Ginevra, hope you'll be careful. Listen to how he treats his ex-friends. He could treat you like that.
Absolutely.
He's already tried to a few times, y'all.
Yeah.
Trying to get mad at her for what I do on my channel. She doesn't run my channel.
Right.
And I don't go run things by her before I do things either. I might give her a heads up about something if it's going to pertain to her or someone she's having issues with, but other than that, she don't have nothing to do with it.
It is very hard to keep up, Jen and Barrett. I agree. And yes, locale news, I agree. I absolutely understand that. And I'm sure just for speaking out on this, I'm going to be on the receiving end of some BS. You know, I would hope he realizes. Yeah, I mean, I would hope he realizes I'm not coming from a place of wanting to drag him or hating on him, because I'm not at all. But I just don't agree with the way things went down. I don't agree with taking things as far as he did. And I don't, you know, the whole thing with the knives and doing that crap and doing that on other people's channels and stuff. Like, that's, I don't think a nice way to treat friends.
Sophie.
That's not how you treat your friends, you know, or even former friends. Like, that's their
Addie
channel.
was triggered. She was using all caps. She was begging with John and pleading with John. She's like, you can remove me as an admin and you might hate me for this, but I'm going to keep ending your stream every time you talk like this. Stop it now. End it now. Leave Cody alone. Like, she was trying everything she could to get them to stop. And she was screaming in the comments, like in the chat, begging him to listen.
Sure,
and
it was
stop.
very, very upsetting for her.
Yeah,
I'm
and he
sure.
gave no fucks about how he was making her feel and what he was putting her through. In my opinion, he didn't give one fuck at all. In fact, he started being shitty towards her for ending the streams. And that, again, that's why he went on 3 channels, so she couldn't end it. When she's trying to protect him from any more legal trouble.
Right.
That is a friend,
she
John.
just doesn't want to see it herself either. You know, it's like, it's hurtful to her to see it. You know, it's like she doesn't want that to be happening. And
well, I'll always be pissed that he sits there and pretended to do that and even made the faces like he was really digging down deep and then smiling, smirking. I'm fine, guys. Look, no marks. Like, that's not fucking funny.
No, that's not.
That infuriated me. While he's saying, see what fakes having blood pressure issues to get sympathy and money for people. And she goes live from the ER in the hospital. When have I ever done that? I have never fucking done that. Not once.
No.
And I've never used my to get money.
Nor did you ask for anything ever.
No,
like, you don't
never ask for anything. Even when I fractured my wrist or sprained my wrist and fractured my nose and had contusions and concussions and all that, I didn't even tell anybody like the whole details of it until it was already being outed by people. And they're like, well, how'd she go to the water park and all other shit? Like, I just said, guys, I just won't go live. I can't go live for a week. I'll see you when I come back, like when I can. That was it. Had no bearing on any other part. But he sits there, and I'm going to say it because I don't want you to get in trouble, but The nerve to sit there and say that about me faking stuff, and then he sits there and does that with the knife.
Yeah.
To say,
I get
this
what you're
y'all's
saying,
fault. Don't
Liz
want me to
Chris.
do this.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you know what? This has affected my real life. Not necessarily John per se, but I've had my real life affected greatly over these YouTube streets. Greatly. I've had a lot of really horrific things said about me. I've been told to go unalive myself like my mother did. Twice.
Yeah.
I've been told that. And it
wasn't
wasn't
even you writing to them.
right. And I've had, you know, one of my girls' SA was outed publicly and made a topic of conversation. Believe me, I've had my job. Muz looking into using her family member to look into my job. It's affected me real life greatly. And I think that's why I can maybe empathize a little bit with how crazy this shit makes you.
Yeah, but again, I've had a lot of shit happen to me, and me and you both have never gone on here and put knives up to ourselves or demanded money or cussed anybody out who didn't give money or say, fuck all of you, you're all losers and all the other shit. And then take everybody, like, I don't know. There's no excuse to treat people the way he treated people. And I've been through some really bad shit in this community. Like I said, I've had 10 people all going at me at the same time on the same panel about the SA stuff.
Right.
That almost broke me completely. But at no point do I have permission to now go live and put accusations like that on someone, use slurs and dox their children and dox everything about them and make fun of SA and make fun of DV and all. There's no justification just because your feelings are hurt. You have to be more.
Who it was who called, and I don't know, this just clicked in my brain. It was Cooch who called me the PEDO recently. That's who.
Oh, well, here, let's play a video just for that then. Hold on.
As long as you call me dirty Cooch or dirty puss.
There you go.
There you go.
When saying that, Ginevra, and yes, I do understand how crazy it makes people. I don't judge. I could have done some F shit to people this past month, but I didn't. Yeah. That's definitely been true.
Well, and that is, I think, kind of the key is how you react to it. Like your reaction.
To have more control of your feelings. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's like your reaction to it it doesn't give you the right to go and.
No, you have to answer for that the next day.
Right.
And that's what John
you can respond, but you can't react, if that makes sense. Like there's responding to it in a rational way, and then there's reacting to it where you're just irrational and take things too far and hurtful to people.
Well, and people are like, just let him vent and just ignore it. And he's in a bad headspace. Yes, I get that. But does he not care about the headspace he puts us in when he's talking about our kids and talking about, you can't are the willing, see us, shit like that? Does he not care about the mental state he puts everybody else in and the mental state he could put George in? AG2 has talked about wanting to harm himself in the past from the shit John has said. John didn't care one bit about the effect he had on him at that time. Like, you can't demand that everybody care about you when you give no F's about anybody else and the damage you're causing to everybody else just because you're miserable, not because they're attacking you, just because you're pissed and nobody wants to be your friend. That is really the only reason he has done the shit he's done in the past week. But this is what he did back in, like I said, in June of 2022, before the whole hospital stay. He went live all night long, had people up, trashed the fuck out of everybody, including myself, went after my son, showed my son's mugshot, doxed his name, said he's going to put my daughter on an adult website, all that shit he did. Then he did a bunch of foul shit to Amber as well and Sherelle and talked all this shit on everybody. And then when everybody's like, and Jolene, let's not forget what he said about Jolene. And then when everybody's like, that's not okay. You can't say shit like that. Then he's like, leave me alone. I'm going to harm myself. And when everybody's like, no, we're going to speak against it. Nobody wants you to harm yourself, but we're going to take a stance against what you said. That's not okay. And then when he supposedly did it, then he's like, oh, it's your fault. I did it. It's Joel's fault. Siwa's fault and Sherelle's fault and Jolene's fault. I forget who else's fault. Amber's fault that I harmed myself when everybody was just responding and not spreading. We weren't spreading hate to him. We were just like, that's not okay to say those things. This is not right. No one should be threatening to put children on adult websites. None of that's okay. That was all anybody was doing. And it took I'm going to harm myself if you don't stop. And then when nobody stopped and everybody, people started to use kid gloves a little bit, then when it was, because no one stopped cold turkey, he blamed everybody. And he even said, I thought that once I told everybody I was threatening, I was going to harm myself, that it would stop everything cold turkey, but it didn't. He's like, so I went ahead and did it.
Right.
So he admitted that he pulls that out, wanting to use it as a get out of jail free card, get out accountability free card. And when it doesn't work, then he's like, it's your fault if I harm myself. That is so messed up and wrong to do. People have
it's a manipulation. I agree.
not.
But at the same time, I mean, on the flip side of that, and again, maybe this is just something that I get because I've been through it. But for me, what goes through my head is that it literally just takes somebody a split second decision to actually harm themselves. And then what?
Right. And again, that would be horrible. And when I was watching that stream on Sophie's, I was like, I hope he doesn't do anything, please. Even though I knew he was going to, I was like, please don't let him do anything. I really feel like we're about to witness something bad, which he tried to, but I mean, he knew he wasn't actually doing it, but he wanted us to feel that guilt and that pain of witnessing him taking his life.
Right.
That is horrible that is traumatizing to do to people.
It is. It's very, no, I know. Believe me, it's traumatizing. It's super triggering for me. It just goes through my head though of what if he did do it? Like, what if he wasn't pretending when he, that's what keeps going through my head is you can sit there and be like, oh, okay, he's faking it. He's pretending. But what about the one time when he's not?
Very true.
That's what goes through my head.
But it'd be different.
And it is, and that's part of the manipulation. I don't know. For those of us who have been through it,
Ginevra, if everybody was bullying him and talking shit about him day in, day out, every damn day, just all attacking him, and then he gets to that level, nobody was doing anything. Like I said, I hadn't been live at all this month till today. But people
were going live. People were going live. There were lives about him. No, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying there were lives about him. Not saying that they were right or wrong or whatever.
I'm just saying anybody telling him to harm himself or I don't know. I didn't watch the stream, so I don't know what happened.
No. But there were, I'm just saying that there were people going at him.
So there was regular banter back and forth, like YouTube banter, like everybody expects.
Yeah, I mean, it was the typical, E11 was going at him, and Ann and Momo were going at him, and Brooke was going at him. I mean, it was the typical, he was being gone. People were going after him, whether right or wrong. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying.
I don't watch.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was being dragged.
Well, then talk about those people. Don't talk about people who ain't said shit about you.
Right. Right.
And he's like, see where you're.
He doesn't need to be dragging. He doesn't need to be dragging people into it. He doesn't need to be dragging people into it who had nothing to do with it, and he doesn't need to be putting very, very serious accusations on people.
Let me respond real quick to Lainey and Renee that said people who are going to take their life don't advertise it. I have to disagree with that, guys, because there's so many videos of people going live and saying, that's it, I'm done with live, I'm ending it, I can't take it no more, and they do it right on stream. There's thousands of videos of people actually ending it on a live stream. Right. So yes, most people don't advertise it, but it does happen. It really does happen.
Well, and the one thing you have to think about too is when he's like that, he's out of control. He probably wasn't sober, in my opinion. And it may not have even been in his intention to do that, but it could have been accidentally done as well.
I think if Cody had not given him the knives, it wouldn't have led to that. I don't feel like it would have led to that if Cody had not handed the knives. I think that was the last straw. And that is, again, not justification or making it okay, because it's not okay. But again,
and that's good, Ginevra, that you don't. Yeah.
And it's just a toxic way to handle things. And maybe y'all need a break from each other.
Yeah.
And Jenna Barrett, I'm so sorry. Jenna Barrett says 3 years ago on February 14th, my best friend committed S. I saw bits of the stream, but I had to bounce. I still suffer greatly and I can't watch with fear anymore. Yeah, don't watch him when he's like that, Jenna Barrett. No. When he's like that, he's going to end with S talk or attempts, unfortunately. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, hun.
Yeah, it's you know,
Yeah,
to
I'm
me
very
it's
sorry.
just a terrible road to go down, period.
I mean, I've
Like,
lost
I
two
don't
people to S too, and even though I had nothing to do with it, it's still the guilt's there. And again, that's pain that never
Yeah.
goes away.
No,
So even
it's
if
not.
we aren't big fans of John, that's still pain that everybody would deal with.
Right. And it's pain he deals with his own, mother. It's a pain, it's a guilt. He probably, you do wonder why did my mom do that? Like, was I not good enough for my mom? Why did my mom not want to stay for me? Like, you do go through that. Absolutely. And, I get the feeling his life is very much like mine, where your life kind of gets divided, where there's your life before and there's your life after. And it's really hard to reconcile the two. And I think that's why he's so attached to things from his childhood, because that's his life before.
Right, which everybody makes fun of him for that, but it's some people use that as a comfort.
Right.
And I will say this, Jules was talking so much shit about Penelope today and saying, it's so weird for a 27-year-old want to be involved with adults, people twice her age on YouTube. And you look like a loser being here on YouTube. Jules, we look more like losers if we're in our 50s and 60s on YouTube fighting with other adults versus Penelope, who's 27.
Right.
It looks worse for us who are older than her, who is 27 still. Okay,
Right.
so like, stop using that. And he's like, what's with Penelope always wanting to be with older men? Jules, there are some people, and I'm not saying this about Penelope because I don't know anything about her story, but some women will get with men old enough to be their fathers because of some traumatic shit they've been through. So don't pick on that and make fun of it, because you never know.
Right.
That's a fucked up thing to pick at. I know a lot
I didn't
of
know
girls,
she was 27. I thought she was younger than that.
I thought so too. But there's a lot of girls who end up getting with guys that age because it's a comfort to them, or there's dad issues going on, or something happened to them when they were younger, and none of those are things to pick at.
Right.
So just leave that shit alone.
To each their own, People, people like what they like. I mean,
For sure.
it's not hurting anybody. That's, I don't
She's
know.
just picking at everybody else instead of, I don't know.
She's a shit stirrer. I mean, that's the end of the day. She gets into people's ears and she stirs shit.
Absolutely. Anytime you're in the chat, she sends screenshots to John about Ginevra's over there while she was talking about you, trying to get him riled up.
Yeah.
I was sent these screenshots of the comments. Who could have done that? Who's known for doing that every time someone goes live? Jules does that. She takes screenshots of everybody in the chat and sends it to people to get them riled up. She's done it to Drazo. She's done it to Johnny Mac. She's done it to John.
She was wrong about that. Because when you started, she was wrong about that. Because when you started talking about him, I left.
You left.
So she was full of shit about that one. That was her just trying to start shit. And that's what she is. She does. She's a shit stirrer. She wants.
Do y'all not agree that it's weirder to be in your 50 something years old? It's weirder to be that age and be on YouTube fighting with adults versus Penelope, who's young still.
Yeah.
Let's do a little video just to take a little breather.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I'm going to make sure to give them something to listen to. Yeah. And then you'll get all fired up and you'll go on your live and get out of character. You $2 mattress whore.
I'm sorry. That's the best clip.
That's funny.
That's a damn good clip right there. Earlier today, she was pretending to write a letter to, she said she was, who am I writing a letter to? The senator or some shit like that. And she started pretending, dear Senator, I'm a 54-year-old B on YouTube. And like, I wanted to clip that because I was like, that's exactly what you would say.
Right.
That's exactly how you would write a letter to them, honestly. So I wanted to clip that, but I was like, she ain't even worth the work. Like I said, she just wants to bully Jen right now and George and take everything out on Jen anytime George responds to her. Jules, why don't you just respond to George instead? Why do you want to switch it to Jen? Is it because George can handle your ass and Jen can't? Jen doesn't want to?
Well, doesn't she realize, though, that everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, most people are sticking up for Jen in this situation?
Even I'm sticking up for Jen, and I'm not even
like,
cool with her.
She's, everybody's saying she's in the wrong for going after Jen. And,
she is.
So why does she want to keep going down that road?
Because it's an easy target to pick at.
Yeah, I guess.
Unfortunately. And it's only, to be clear, it's not easy because Jen is weak, because she's not. It's only easy because she knows Jen is trying everything she can to stay away from it. And she's trying to poke till she responds. And then when she responds, like, oh, you're talking about me? Now I'm going to go even at you harder.
Right.
So it's an asshole thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jen and Barrett.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a lot to handle.
That's horrific. And that's a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, please never watch his streams when he gets like that, okay?
No.
Because anytime it's late at night and he's slurring his words, which, by the way, he said, I have a list now and I hate that I have a list. He's like, I never had one before. But I went to his YouTube that he had from like over 10 years ago, and he was talking the same. And there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I hate that he beats himself up because he has a lisp, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, in my opinion.
No. There's nothing wrong with having a lisp.
I
know they like to make fun of. I know people over there like to make fun of people who have lisps and they think it's funny, but it's like, who cares?
Well, when I do my whitening stuff, they're like, oh, she has a lisp. And then I take it out. It's not a lisp. It's just having stuff.
Right.
It's not that serious.
Right.
But he always talked like that from what I remember.
Oh, God. What is it? Summer days. I don't even want to know.
I got some exciting stuff coming up this weekend. I can't wait. I'll tell you all about it when I get back, though. But I got 2 major things that I got coming up this weekend with my daughter and her friend. So again, John, while you talk about what a broke bish I am, again, my bills are paid. I have a home. I have money to go do things with my daughter. And I got 2 things, great, amazing things we're doing this weekend. So you can call me a broke bish all you want and make fun of me in Section 8. I'm living a damn good life. I'm living a life I've always wanted and a place I always wanted, where there's no fighting, there's no drama, there's no negativity, there's nothing happening. We're very fucking happy, and you could just hate on that all you want. I love my life.
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is true. Sarah just lost someone. I wasn't going to tell anybody until she wanted to make people aware. But she's one of the ones I want to do a reading for, and I don't feel like I can because of all the shit people are saying.
Yeah.
Like, it fucks it up for me. Because I know I still do it. I know if I do my meditation, do my whole ritual, and get ready to do a reading, I could totally still do it. I mean, those abilities don't go away, but it's just about losing the confidence in it because you're always worried about what's going to happen next. You know, that her and the other person are completely great people that have never done anything wrong to me.
Right.
All right. Someone told me to go look at something. Let me go look. I put Doherty. Doherty bitches.
Doherty. She's a doity bitch.
Okay, let's see. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what the
Cooch's like bullshit makes me really want to.
So Cooch is doxing you and me.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, Cooch? This is my response, this is my reaction to you, not my response, but my reaction is to go and post the entire litany of DMs between you and Muzz so people can see just how toxic you are.
Right. I don't even know if she's talking shit about me. No one's even like, that little video was about it, but that's why I play that video, because she keeps doxing.
Yeah, I'll report it too.
I have never doxed Cooch, not once. But Cooch, I'm not defending John, just so you know. I'm actually calling him out for his shit. So I don't even know why you're pissing him.
Cooch is crazy. She's Muzz 2.0. She's crazy.
Well, I'm gonna go report her shit real quick. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Are you gonna go report it too?
Yeah.
Let's see. Privacy. Hold on, y'all. It just takes a few minutes for me to get this done. Let's see. Privacy. They make us go through so many freaking steps.
Mm-hmm.
It's like step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, and then you can finally do it.
Right.
Hold on, y'all. Just sit tight. I'm almost done. Are you reporting for me? Legal name. Video. In the video. There we go. Sorry, y'all, for the dead air. Just give us 1 second. Do. Okay. 1 second, y'all. I'm almost done. Okay, it's done. Sorry about that. This is the shit I'm talking about. Like, you don't even say anything about people and don't even attack people, and they just start doxing you out of nowhere. That's a real shitty thing to do, but what else? That's why you have this video, though. This little video is all it took. And you're already
as long as you call me dirty cooch or dirty puss.
So as long as she doxes me, that video stays on the channel. But thank you for letting me know, guys. There's literally no reason for her to be doing that, but whatever. It is, Chris. It is. It is a complete effing joke. But sometimes you have to try from other emails to get it to work. But yeah, there's no reason to do that. None whatsoever, but whatever. You think she'd be focusing on her biggest content right now, which is JY. I guess he gets a break. All right, 1 second. Let me check my emails real quick. Wait, that's not it. Hold on. I don't even know what her fucking problem is, honestly. She's going to always say, that's my issue with you. Like, you screamed and hollered that I better not ever read those messages. And again, I never will. But then you say, if I do, you're going to put up flyers. And then I say, well, I'm not going to do it. And you're like, well, I'm going to put up the flyers anyways. Which, you're going to really fuck up for doing that, just so you know. But go ahead, try. Now, if anybody does it. Stupid YouTube, huh? I don't even know what you're saying. Okay. Saudi. I'm so behind. Looks like that video hurt Lil Cal's feelings. What do you mean? What'd they say? What video? Cooch is doing a live doxing me in Ginevra. Has anyone heard from John? Jules talked to John today. He's fine. Thank you for being here, Christina. I know I haven't been live forever. Jesus, how the hell did you get a strike? You don't even say anything. But we did privacy complaints, me and Ginevra, so she's still working on hers, I think.
Yeah, you're faster than me.
I'm more skilled at it. I've done it a few times.
Apparently. Yeah, you know what, Miss Cooch? Tread lightly.
She complains about being doxxed, and then she does all this doxing everybody.
Right.
Like, okay, girl. And she's like, it's already been doxed. Someone already put it out there. Okay, well, people put out your apartment address all the time. Nobody has a right to do that, though. And it's so bullshit, because I've always spoken out against anybody that's done that while she continues to dox me. Right. She is such an asshole.
She's Cooch. Like I said, she's just a Muzz 2.0. She
is a very nasty person.
She's just, yeah, she is. She's really nasty in the things she does. And the fact that people support that makes them just as nasty. Like they sit there and want to get all butt hurt on her behalf is ridiculous to me. Like she doesn't give a crap about y'all.
Oh, my goal ended. Oh, well. I got memberships from Miss Joanna, so I'm happy. Oh, my legs.
Oh, she's threatening to post flyers.
Again? Go ahead.
Yep.
You'll see what happens. I've already alerted. Never mind. Go ahead. Make sure. Well, it's got to be recorded. Because if anybody does that, she's going to get charges. It's so stupid because now no matter who does it, she's going to get the blame. So enjoy.
Yeah, she should tread lightly because I'm not above shutting shit down anymore. So you want to threaten to put flyers up, Cooch? Like you do realize that that's straight up against the law, and even
It sure is.
Threatening it is straight up against
and
the
I
law.
Absolutely will file fucking charges.
Yep.
You can bet your fucking money on that one.
Yep.
I will not take that lightly.
Nope. I wonder if she ever took down that live stream that she tried to schedule for November on a recap of traders. Like her mushrooms must have been kicking that day. She's riled up. She's fired up.
For what? No one's even done anything except play that little video. Good Lord. And that video's there because she keeps doxing.
Yep.
And we played it because you said she was accusing you of being a you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it.
Which she did.
All we did was play a video of you talking about yourself. Good Lord.
Right. Exactly.
Well. Oh, well.
Yep, exactly. Let her
be miserable.
Let her throw her little tantrum. It's what she does best.
No, stalking John is what she does best.
She throws some pretty epic temper tantrums. I have proof of that.
I will say this. The voice is hard enough to listen to when she's calm. When she's fired up, is painful.
It is.
Did she really? What is her problem? Just start fights with people who aren't even fucking with her.
What does Cindy do to her? Cindy does nothing to her. And why would you make
She doesn't
that
do nothing to anybody?
No, she doesn't. Cindy really doesn't do anything to anybody. And to make accusations like that is ridiculous. Cindy does nothing to anybody. She's like the sweetest person. Like, leave Cindy alone. For Christ's sake.
Well, can you make sure you record her saying that she's going to put up flyers? Because, again, if anybody does it, I'm going to the police immediately and filing charges on her. Because she's already said, I'm not too far away from you.
I heard
state
that.
lines to commit a crime. Keep going. That's real smart.
Right.
What an awful person.
She is. She's just trash. She is just trash.
You wouldn't even think she'd be bitching considering we're calling out the shit that happened over the week, but nope, she got to throw her hat in and start fights with people.
Yep.
To make her friends happy.
Mm-hmm.
Awful, awful people. All right, well, I pretty much talked about everything I was going to talk about. We covered quite a bit. Is there anything else you have to add?
No, just please, people, stop weaponizing unaliving. It's not okay. All around.
It's one thing if y'all are really going live because you actually need help and need someone to talk to and whatnot, but doing it just to punish people for not sending money or for not receiving for not accepting your apology.
Oh, she said it again, Jesus. Okay, great.
Wow. That's defamation.
Yep.
There's no proof of that. That's really dumb.
Nope. Yeah, she's dumb.
Like I said, I hope this is being recorded because I will need that.
It is.
Thank God. I am grateful for any help from anybody with proof of any threats, guys.
Yeah, no, it's being recorded.
Well, I appreciate you coming up. It was nice to hear how you felt about it because, yeah, a lot of people were wanting to know what you felt about the situation. And I know you'll probably get some backlash, but hopefully it's not too bad because you didn't talk about your shit. You just said you disagreed with it and hope it gets better.
Yeah.
But that it was wrong what was said about George, which everybody agrees. So that's...
Yeah. The extent of it was just, I mean, it's terrible to say something like that anyway, and then just to take it to the extent it was taken was just, you know, and if, you know, I'm not even going to say that. Never mind. It's just, you don't put stuff like that out there.
No, but now she's doing it. Now we have another person doing it.
Yeah.
Is the whole community going to come out up in arms because it's being said about Ginevra now? Or is everybody going to bury their heads and say, no, it's okay because it's Cooch? But if it's said about George from John, then we're all going to jump on board and attack. Right. But
and this is what I was saying.
Our friends say it, it's okay.
Right. And this is the point I was making earlier, is you can't sit there and say, oh, it's okay for some people to say some things, but it's not okay for others. You can't be up in arms about John saying this about George and then be okay with Cooch saying it about me. Exactly, Bliss Chris. Rules for thee.
Jeez,
like, I'm sorry. And if you sit there and you're in the chat with somebody and you're bantering with them, you're supporting this shit.
Yeah, better not see you all coming out and get for George then if you're going to be okay with it, which, again, I think everybody should come out in solidarity against these accusations, but y'all cannot give the green light for other people.
Right.
Or it's not going to mean anything when you do it for George.
Right. So you can't stand up for it being done to George and then turn around and do it yourself, Cooch. That just makes you look like the fucking hypocrite that you are. Yeah. Exactly.
What a mess.
Yep.
Some people just want to be miserable and want to be bitter.
At my email here.
Well, it was a nice conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed talking with everybody and getting everybody's feelings and us all having chat about all of it that's happening. So I enjoyed this stream, guys. I really appreciate everybody being here. I really am grateful for Miss Joanna's memberships. I'm grateful for Martin's mommy for continuing her membership for 31 months. And then I give out 10 memberships. Again, I'll give out more in the next few weeks to pitch in with it too. So
yeah.
But anytime you need a platform, you know you can come up. You know that.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming up, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. I changed my name. Yes, you could change your name, Jesus. You could go on you click on your profile, and you should see a little pencil, and you click on that, and it should let you change your name in your profile picture, I believe. I believe so. Well, I'm glad that I could keep y'all entertained for a few hours. I really enjoyed it. I've missed you guys. Again, I hope y'all understand that if I have an option to go live versus get some rest, cook, clean, be with my daughter, be with her friends, or go out and do something, I'm going to do the other stuff first. It's just, I have to put that above everything else. But I will always return and come back any chance I can. I was actually going to go live last night, but in the night before, but too much shit was popping. I was like, I'm not going to be able to fit in, get a time frame where nobody else is live. So it is what it is. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank y'all for giving me a heads up about the doxing going on. Thank y'all for opening up about what you've been going through, Jen and Barrett, and Sarah for sharing that with us so we understand the gravity of what's happening. And I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.
If I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored again?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always